Have we been robbed of the greatest final ever? Because in my opinion, these are the two best teams left. I know France and England were meant to be the favorites of this competition, but they've been boring, and I'm pretty sure you guys feel the same. They have not been fun to watch. But Germany and Spain, they have been fun. But hello, everyone. Welcome. Can you hear me all right? And I just want to say, before we get started, Milos, thank you so much. Thank you so much for becoming a member. You guys can become members of the Football Meta channel if you want. Link is in the description down below near the subscribe button. But yeah, is this working? Can you guys hear me? Because it says there are 0 viewers right now. But anyway, once we get some confirmation that you guys can hear me and the stream is working fine, then I'll jump straight into the tactics and to the lineups, because there are a lot of changes on Germany's side, but there aren't too many, or there are actually no changes on Spain's side. Okay, perfect. Yes. All right, we're all in. Hello. Thank you. And thank you, Milos, again. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Yeah, I'm curious to know what you guys are saying. I see the poll is 52% Spain. It can constantly being updated. Personally, I think Spain have a very good chance today, especially looking at Germany's lineup as well. There are a few surprises in there that I personally didn't expect. I thought they'd go with more of the formation that we saw in the earlier group stage games, maybe with Wirtz and Andrić in the center, but I'm not sure if there were some forced changes for Nagelsmann, or if this was something that he fully planned on doing against this really, really good Spanish team. But yeah, thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Some familiar names, some familiar faces. Welcome to everyone. If it's your first time here, please leave a like. Let's try and hit 300 likes on this stream. And yeah, I'm curious to know what you guys, let's get some score predictions going as well. I'm going to wait to give you mine. I'm going to look at some tactics first, and then I'm going to see what you guys see, and then let's see if we can match on which team we think is going to come out on top. But anyway, let's jump straight into the starting lineups, because there are some changes for Germany mostly. But let's start with Spain, because they're looking pretty set in their starting 11. They haven't changed much at all. If anything, this has been their starting formation for the whole campaign, really. The only one is Laporte, that I think didn't start in their previous match against Georgia, or maybe he did, and it was the first one before that where it was Nacho that started in this position. But anyway, Spain in a 4-3-3. Classic 4-3-3. We've got Simon in goal, Laporte, Lenormand, Carvajal, and Cucurella at the back. Really liking how they're using their fullbacks in this Euros. We're going to be looking at some tactical analysis of what Spain could do in this match. Then we've got the formidable midfield three of Fabian Ruiz. A little bit more. Oh, I think the stream is buffering. Let me know when it's up and running again. I think the internet should be fine on my end, but I'm not sure why it's doing that. But yeah, we've got Spain in a 4-3-3, and then the front three of Nico Williams, Morata, and Yamal. Okay, up again. Okay, sorry about that. I hope that's not a reoccurring theme. Just so much traffic. You know, everyone wants to check in on the Football Meta tactics. You know, it's hard to. YouTube can't hack it. YouTube can't hack it. We're good. Okay, so and then we've got the front three of Nico Williams, Morata, and Yamal. Obviously, they've been really, really good. I criticized Morata at the start of the campaign a little bit, maybe more than he deserved, and he's actually had a pretty good Euros. Not in scoring sense, but if you think about it, no real strikers are scoring. It's a weird Euros in that perspective. There's no real top scorers unless you consider own goals. And we covered a little bit of this in a recent Trends of the Euros video that I made on the channel. But yeah, strikers aren't really scoring too frequently. And I wonder, I'm going to see if we can analyze why with you guys in the stream today. But I think it might just be down to how teams are looking to defend at these Euros. Quite deep, lots of central cover. And it could be why there's been so many goals from outside the box as well, because they're all so worried about these star strikers scoring goals from crosses into the box that it maybe leaves a little bit more space on the edge of the box for midfielders. If you consider a team like Switzerland, they've had 7 different scorers. I think they scored 7 goals from 7 different people. And none of them are coming really from a specific striker. They have so many players that can rotate and score in different positions. And it's a similar story for Spain and Germany as well. But now let's look at Germany, because there are some changes. So we've got Neuer in goal, back two of Rudiger and Tah, pretty consistent throughout these Euros. And then Kimmich and then Raum on the left flank. I'm not entirely sure against Denmark if Raum started, but I was really liking how Mittelstadt was playing, especially at the start of the Euros. I think his position with Kroos dropping into this position here, or Kroos in this position, Mittelstadt pushing up. So I'm curious curious if this changes anything. But then in the center as well, we have Emre Can instead of Andrić. Again, I really like the position of Andrić. I thought he was playing really, really well at the start of these Euros. So I'm not sure if this is a change that Nagelsmann expected to make. I'm not sure if you guys have any more information on why Emre Can is starting today instead of Andrić. And then we have 3 attacking midfielders of Sane, Gundogan, and Musiala. Now, again, here, I really like Wirtz. I'm surprised Wirtz isn't in the starting lineup. Again, he didn't really play. I think it was against Denmark as well. He wasn't in the starting lineup, or maybe it was the last group stage. He wasn't in the starting lineup. So yeah, I'm curious why we're starting with Sane. But obviously, this is a dangerous attack for Germany, and they can create a lot of issues, especially with a player like Havertz up top as well, because we know what he likes to do. We know what Germany like to do, and Spain and Germany, it's weird because they've kind of switched places in a way. And I feel like I need to explain that a little bit, because Spain, they've always been known, obviously not the past few seasons or not few competitions, they've been going through a little bit of a transition. But in general, Spain have always been like the boring, let's say, possession team. They just dominate the ball, and there's nothing too innovative in the way they play. And Germany have now become a more creative team in the way that they're creating these overloads with lots of players in the center of the pitch. Gundogan, different players, the fullbacks keeping the width. They have lots of different options in the center, and they've become like a really exciting team, like kind of blurring the lines between positional play and maybe relationism. I don't want to use the word relationism too loosely, because I know it's not really relationism, but it is these like overloads of players that are starting to occur. And we've got a similar thing from Spain, but I feel like Spain do it a little bit more traditionally. So in a way, yes, Spain have become a bit more of a pragmatic team, which is what you'd expect from Germans and their style of play. But I really like what Spain are doing as well, especially with their fullbacks. I like how they're hugging the pitch as much as possible. They're really out nice and wide during build-up, and it gives lots of space in these pockets here for the midfielders to do what they do best. So on both flanks, we've got the fullbacks out wide, and then Pedri on this case can drop deep and then push forward. We saw at the start, and I think it was their first match against Croatia, you'd have them drop deep, pick up the ball, and then they'd look to switch it into the opposite flank. So maybe Pedri would pick up the ball here and find Nico Williams on the left. But then on the left, you'd have Fabian Ruiz dropping a little bit deep and finding Yamal. So I think these 1v1s out wide are going to be crucial. And I'm curious to see how Raum and Kimmich deal with these two players, because they have been unstoppable for Spain. I want to know who you guys think is going to score first. Which player, if it's Spain, which player do you think is going to score first? I really want to see Yamal get a goal. He's been playing really well. Obviously, he's not even 17 yet. I think he'll be 17 if they make it to the final, or maybe it's his 17th birthday one of these days. But still, it's insane that he's playing at this level. He's doing his homework before playing Germany in the quarterfinals of a European Cup. I think we're all a little bit jealous of a talent like that. I think, yeah, Yamal needs a goal, like Melo is saying. But yeah, I'm curious to know, who do you guys think is going to score first, and who do you think is going to win? I saw some 3-2s. I saw very mixed opinions. It's quite insane to see that it's 51% to 49%. You guys think it's going to be a close game? I hope it's close in the sense that at least it's entertaining. I don't want a 0-0 boring draw, which is probably what France-Portugal is going to be later on. That's why I decided to stream this game, because I think France-Portugal is going to be a little bit, I don't know. Both teams have not been too impressive so far. I think Portugal have shown a little bit more, but France have been really, really boring. And that's coming from an England fan. But yeah, France have been quite difficult to watch. They haven't scored a goal from open play. But that is not the case with the two teams we are looking at today. So, Sachin, you're saying Nico Williams to score first. Saraba, you think Pedri, first goal scorer, yes or no? I think it's going to be a midfielder. I think it's going to come... If it's for Spain, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Ruiz or Pedri. Maybe I want to see like Yamal hugging the touchline, dribbling inside, and then like a nice layoff onto the edge of the box for a late run from Pedri to finish off the move in that way. If it's from Germany, I wouldn't be too surprised, let's say, if it's, again, a similar situation with these players. Maybe they're more in the half space, aren't they? Because you have Kimmich and Raum hugging the touchline in these positions. Maybe a Germany goal will come from some situation like this. Kimmich playing it into Sane into the half space, and then we got a little bit of a cutback situation where I don't know if Havertz is more of a cutback kind of scorer. I think so, yeah. I mean, for Chelsea and for Arsenal, he scored a few goals like this, but he's kind of the first one to make these runs in a way, isn't he? He might be the one receiving this ball here if he's on the defensive line, and then I wouldn't be too surprised to see him dribbling inside and trying to provide an assist more than actually finishing the chance. So FTBL, who am I supporting? Not really supporting anyone, but I think I really like this German team. I really like what they're trying to do. I like their tactics, but I just think Spain are just one step ahead of everyone in this competition. Now, I'm very ready to be proven wrong. I'm not too bothered either way who goes through. But it would be nice as an England fan, because obviously England are going to make it to the final. Probably not. But if they do make it to the final, it would be cool to play Germany in Germany and, win in their backyard. That would be fun. So Pomo, expecting clean goals, but it's the quarters and likely we'll have goals from scrambles. Yeah, that's always the case when you get to these situations. Nerves start to kick in a little bit more. Tactics are maybe a little bit more cautious, so I wouldn't be surprised if both teams' defensive lines are a little bit more static, especially in the first half. Maybe they're trying to cover the space as much as possible. So I hope it's good goals, but maybe there's a reason why we saw a lot of amazing goals at the start of the competition, because everyone was just so gassed to be there and everyone wanted to have a go from the halfway line, from outside the box. But now the biggest teams are making it through. They're slowly getting into their grips, into the rhythm. I wouldn't be surprised if the goals start to become a little bit more traditional, in the sense it's in the box and cutbacks and maybe scrappy goals. Because we all know own goals are the top scorers of this competition. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see more of them. Which is unfortunate, because obviously I don't think that's fun for anyone to consider the fact that own goals are what we're all cheering for. I don't think it is. One player that did score an own goal was Calafiori, but I absolutely loved him. I think he had a really, really competition, even though Italy were pretty dreadful. I don't know if you guys caught the game. I mean, any of their games, to be honest, but especially the game against Switzerland, they were nowhere near it. But I think that is, I don't want to remove any credit from Switzerland, because Switzerland have been amazing this competition. And I recently did just make a video on their tactics. So if you haven't seen that, definitely check it out. It's on the channel. I really like what they're doing. They've got some really innovative styles of play as well. Especially, I really like what their left wing back is doing. Abisha moving more centrally, a lot more frequently. And these overloads between positions and players is something that I think we're seeing a lot more of, and I'm curious to see if it's something that is actually a trend that's going to make it just going to continue to develop. So hello Harry, are the relationship rumors between you and Caleb true? Absolutely. Caleb, don't tell him anything. Avita, which player do you think is getting the MVP for this match from either team? So I'm going to say I'm going to go for Pedri for Spain as the main player. I think Rodri's going to be quietly amazing, as he usually is, but I don't know if he's going to score. Obviously, he scored a great goal against Georgia to get them back on track. But I wonder if I think Pedri, maybe someone a little bit more dynamic, someone that pushes forward a little bit more, is going to be better. And then on Germany's side, I'm going to go for Kroos again, because I think from his deep position, this back three that Germany like to create with the fullbacks out wide, I think this is a really difficult position to stop. And I do like how Spain have been pressing. I think Spain have been one of the best defensive teams as well, but of the way they like to press, the way they want to push their players forward. So they nearly always keep like a 4-3-3 even out of possession, unless the opposition has obviously gained control of the pitch and then they're in the opposition's half. But by keeping this back three, I'm curious to see what happens to Kroos in this position, if he's still able to play these dangerous balls forward, if they're a little bit more cautious with is it going to be Pedri that closes down the fullbacks on the flanks, or are they going to push Carvajal a little bit further forward? So there's lots of different options and different ways Spain could approach this match, and I'm curious to see what happens. I think that will be a big one to understand. How are Spain and Germany going to counteract each other's fullbacks? Because if Germany want to push their fullbacks forward quite a lot, obviously you think maybe their wingers, Spain's wingers, would be the ones to drop a little bit deeper. But we know they kind of like to keep Yamal quite high up the pitch alongside Morata. So maybe there's a little bit of overloads here that Germany could take advantage of with Carvajal and Lenormand having to move over, Musiala around, maybe Havertz in this position, Gundogan. This could be an area to watch. But yeah, I'm curious to know, tactically speaking, do you think both teams are going to do something different? Or do you think this is going to be the theme? They're going to keep to what both teams know best, and we're just going to go into the classic tactics that both teams know and love. So thank you, Aristu. Really nice content. Thank you very much. Yeah, leave a like, guys, if you haven't. We're trying to hit 300 likes. Can't actually see how many we've got, but it doesn't matter. I trust you guys. Run and gun, pure chaos. Love it. Yeah, I'd love to see that. I'd love to see maybe like a 4-4 goal, 4-4, and then extra time penalties. Maybe not penalties, because I feel like penalties are just a little bit unfair, even if a team plays really, really well. Difficult to be. I don't know. Penalties are like, obviously they have to happen. But when you win on penalty, there's always a little bit of it's less dramatic. Well, maybe not dramatic, but you know what I mean. So we're just about to kick off. Lifeline. I think it might be a cautious first half. Yeah, I think so too. Okay, we are underway. Straight away kickoff. For Germany, very aggressive, pushing forward straight a lot. Kickoff routines have been something that obviously very common in all levels of football now, but at the Euros I've seen quite a few just super aggressive starts from both teams, just trying to get the ball instantly in behind. And it looks like that was Germany's plan straight from the off here. Trying to get the ball forward as quickly as possible. Okay, so Spain in possession, already looking to keep to the same theme with the fullbacks out wide. Nico Williams hugging the touchline, and then quick little 1-2, but didn't really pay off for them just now. So let's get all these pegs set up and let's just let the game play out for a little bit and see what happens. So Spain already on the attack with Cucurella on the overlap. I'd like to see Cucurella. I wonder if this changes for... Oh, there he is, edge of the box. Pedri already. Okay, so that was kind of what we were saying earlier, wasn't it? Pedri from outside the box. We've already predicted it. Not from the position. I thought it would come maybe from out wide on the right. It came from the left. Yeah, really close. Kind of a weak shot, to be honest, though. It wasn't the most intense shot from Pedri, but difficult. I think it was on his weak foot, wasn't it? Oh, Cucurella's down. Let's see if that's anything serious. I wonder who Spain have in this position. I wonder if he just got knocked a little bit, or if it's something quite bad. It does look like quite bad usually at the start like that. Is it by himself? Oh no, he does go down. Okay, I can't really tell what happens to him there. But yeah, losing Cucurella this early on in the game could be difficult for Spain, because he's been definitely one of their standout players so far in this competition. Matt, worrying for Chelsea if their best player is down injured? Yeah, of course, yeah. No one else Chelsea can rely on. Cucurella is their star man. Mello, you don't get a TV? Well, you don't need to. We'll cover it here. So I've got you covered. It's basically like watching it in real time. Okay, so it does look like Cucurella is okay. He's back up on his feet. So we might get a chance to see a little bit of a more structured attack here, see if any tactics have changed for both teams. But it does look like they're keeping to the same principles. I wouldn't expect teams to change too much at this stage of the competition, especially because they've been practicing it. It works. They've played really, really well to get to this point. So let's get Sane Musiala. It doesn't look like Germany are pressing too high in this initial phase. But again, quite difficult to get control of possession and see what's happening. Füllkrug heroics late in the game. I definitely expect them to come on, especially if the game is tight. And here we go, Germany on the attack. But I think, yeah, it's been a weird one for these Euros because, again, like we were saying earlier, strikers haven't really been the star of the competition in the sense there's no real top scorers. Füllkrug obviously did get a goal. I think it was against Switzerland in the group stages. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he comes on later on to try and finish it. Maybe it gets a little bit more chaotic, a little bit more vertical as the game progresses. So it looks like a very rough game. Instantly, another big tackle on Pedri there. So Kimmich to get booked. I see that. I think Williams has had an unbelievable competition. So I think this duel is going to be an interesting one to look at. David, own goal heroics. I pray there's no more own goals. Obviously, it's funny to see the fact that is one of the biggest scorers of the competition, his own goals. But I pray we don't see any more. But I'm curious to know what players have really stood out to you so far in this competition. So we mentioned Calafiori earlier as one of the players that I've really enjoyed watching for Italy, even though Italy were pretty atrocious, I think it's safe to say. But are there any other players that really stood out to you? I think Nico Williams has been really, really good. Haven't seen too much of him this season. Obviously, I don't watch too much of La Liga unless I'm doing like an analysis on a team that's doing really well. So I didn't know too much about him coming into the Euros, but he's really impressed me. Both Yamal, but obviously Yamal, we know a little bit more about him just because of his age. So Bastoni was great for Italy as well. I agree. Yeah, I think defensively speaking, even though they conceded quite a few goals, I think Italy weren't too bad. I think they really struggled when they had against Switzerland when they didn't have Di Marco on the left. They didn't really have too many players, and they struggled to really get a hold of that match. Even though the interblock, maybe it started quite well against Albania, but then in the other games it was a little bit worse. So Dragostin stood out. Bastoni was great. Fabian Ruiz. Yeah, Fabian Ruiz has been really, really good. Another player that I didn't know too much about him before the Euros. Obviously, I knew of him, but he's not a player that I'd specifically seen play too much. Really aggressive start from Germany. Lots of fouls, which is good. That's what we want to see. So Reinders, yeah, he's been really good as well. Keo, I agree. Curious to know what you guys think about the other matches as well. So what about France-Portugal, if you've got any score predictions for that? And what about England-Switzerland tomorrow? And what's the other one? Holland... Turkey. I did not expect Turkey to beat Austria. Austria were really, really impressive in the group stages. So I'm surprised to see them go out so early, but I really enjoyed Turkey as well. I actually watched quite a few of their games because of the game against Georgia. It was a really good one. And then I watched the game against... who was it? Austria. And they played really, really well. It came down to corners in the end for both teams, really. All the goals were from corners, but I think they defended really, really well, and they definitely deserved to be in the quarterfinals. But so did Austria. They had a really good start. Obviously, topping that group was never going to be easy. So, yeah, they did really, really well. So, another Spain player looks like he might be going out. Pedri. This is weird. This is very, very aggressive from Germany. That was a big tackle. I think he'll be all right. Unless something twisted. France will win. Mbappe heroics. Yeah, Ronaldo isn't in good form at the Euros this time. I don't know. He's Ronaldo. So you can't say too much. But at the same time, I think it might be a little bit frustrating for Portugal fans to watch him. Especially, I've seen some highlights of like him just taking free kicks from ridiculous positions. And it's just like, come on, just play it. Just do something. Like, obviously, I understand what he's got to do, but it sometimes it does seem like it's just a little bit too much about him. Obviously, you love to see the passion. You love to see him upset and missing the penalty and everything because, I mean, he's nearly 40 and he still cares more than a lot of these new players. So we got Olmo. Is that coming on? Oh, damn. Yeah, Pedri's out. So Taha, players that surprised you the most are Biol for Slovenia, Raitu for Romania, and my boy Kadioglu. Yeah, Kadioglu's been really, really good. Really, really good. That's a good shout. I enjoyed watching Kadioglu. So Pedri's out. Wow, that's a big loss. I think it's Olmo coming in. I think I saw number 10. Yeah, Aebischer as well. Yeah, the more I think about it, there's been some really, really good players. That's a good shout, Neil. Aebischer's been really, really good. I think his position just so dynamic for Switzerland. It's a position. It's like if you say, okay, he's a fullback, then maybe it's a little bit more easy to understand his rotations into the center. But the fact that he's a wing back and he moves so centrally, I think is a cool concept because it's not really something you see too much of. I think Inter, they play with wing backs, and Di Marco, maybe he moves a little bit more centrally, a little bit more frequently. But the way Switzerland are doing it is like purely intentional. Like he moves into the center. Maybe you've got Vargas keeping the width. So many different options for them to exploit. Okay, so we've got a moment to see a little bit of a Spanish build-up, and they completely ignore it and go for the long ball into Morata. So it looked like for 2v1 out wide, or 2v2 essentially. And then you got Ruiz trying to add a little bit more support on the box. I think these long balls like this do actually work quite well when you're playing with deep fullbacks because it can bounce around here, but if it doesn't really work, you've got the cover instantly in this position. So yeah, it's kind of like a free ball essentially. You can try and play it. Morata's obviously got really, really good hold-up play. So if he can hold it up and then the team can get numbers in that position, then it can become dangerous. Nice move from Sane. They're just trying to get past, but doesn't really work. Ball forward into Williams, but isn't able to keep it. John Lombard, how come you hate the 4-2-3-1? Is that just for Germany, or is that in generally speaking? Because it's one of the most popular formations, which doesn't mean it's good in any means, but I'm just curious, yeah. Cucurella is more aggressive. Is that compared to Carvajal? Yeah, it does look like Cucurella is picking up quite advanced positions. It's been a slow tactical start. Can we say that, in the sense that it's been very open game, lots of long balls, very quick attacks, quite aggressive, but I haven't really noticed too many patterns as of yet. Sometimes that can be quite frustrating. You're trying to analyze a team. Not in this case, not frustrating. It's been a good start, but it's difficult to understand what's their build up. How many players do they have in possession? And you can't really do it. So, double false 9, Amanda General. Yeah, for City, that was good. You need the right players to do something like that. I was curious. Okay, hear me out. What do you think of England if they played without Harry Kane? Now, okay, obviously that's never going to happen. But hear me out. Because, okay, Foden, Bellingham, and Kane, they keep getting in each other's way, right? Oh, wait, Germany on the edge of the box. Nice ball from Havertz out wide. Can they find it back? Kind of forced it back into the middle. Kane, Havertz, and not Kane and Havertz, sorry. Kane, Bellingham, and Foden, they keep getting in each other's way. So I feel like for England to be a little bit more dangerous up front, they need to get rid of one of those players. And I don't think it should be Bellingham. In a way, I know Foden hasn't been great, but I kind of see what he's trying to do. And I think Foden can be more dangerous. And I just think Kane has been pretty useless at these Euros. And because they keep getting in each other's way, maybe get rid of Kane, maybe play, I don't know. Again, this is not what I'm saying England should actually do. It's just trying to get your opinions. What if you played Foden as a false 9? You got Saka or Gordon on the left, Palmer on the right. I think you need to get Palmer in. Palmer's been really good. And you play with something like that. And then you've got Bellingham and Foden that can play off each other. Foden can drop deep. Bellingham can attack in behind. Because if you look at Bellingham for Real Madrid, he's always making these runs in behind, but he's got Vinicius and Rodrigo that are counterbalancing his movements. Yeah, or Tony is a number 9. Maybe like a different striker. But I don't know. I'm kind of sick of seeing Kane. I know he scored, but I don't know. It's just a bit boring to watch. Okay, we've got a nice Spanish build-up to look at now. Again, fullbacks, they look quite aggressive. A little bit more aggressive in this match. So I think they're trying to pin back Germany's wingers a little bit more. So Cucurella's being quite aggressive. And then it looks like it's, Ruiz dropping into these spaces to pick up the ball. Nico Williams on the inside. So a nice little combination on the left flank here. So I think, with Cucurella hugging the touchline, obviously Morata's going to be man-marked by Rudiger, I'm pretty sure, all the match. It does free up these more central channels for the ball to be played forward, which they can do in two different ways, because you can go through Cucurella and then try and play it forward into Williams. But I think by having a more direct approach with these more central balls directly from Laporte or even Rodri into Williams, it allows Williams to rotate a little bit more as well. And it gives Spain a little bit more options, because they can have Williams maybe move more centrally, and then Ruiz can maybe rotate with Morata. A little more options you can have. Maybe a nice combination could be like a ball forward into Williams, or Ruiz to like drop in behind to get the third man pass and play in behind. But yeah, these central channels have been dangerous for Spain, and I think they could be more dangerous today. So I think that's one of the reasons maybe why Cucurella is playing a little bit more aggressive. He's trying to get Sane to play as far back as possible. But we've got Spain again on the counter-attack, trying to find Olmo. Oh, that's a big challenge right there, and that's a free kick right on the edge of the box. I like Olmo. He's quick, he's aggressive. I think he could have a good game. I think Pedri obviously deserves to start for Spain, but I think he's going to have a good game starting, having basically the whole match to prove what he can do. Because when he came off the bench, he was always really impressive. Yeah, Samir, someone English always has to ruin the game, don't they? When it's England, it's, England. But in this case, it has to be the ref. Yeah, Life and Life, Germany really direct. Maybe they're going for a little bit more counterattacks. I don't know if that was their game plan, but it definitely looks like it's something they're going to have to do, because Spain are slowly, I think, controlling the game, especially with these combinations out wide. So, yeah, I think with the fullbacks in these positions, I think it just becomes difficult for them to predict which player is going to drop deep, trying to link up with Rodri and Morata, trying to like hold the defensive line back. And then if you do try and close them down, you try and push up, then you've got these players that can drop into the pockets and pick up the ball. So we've got free kick on the edge of the box. Would love to see Yamal put this in the top corner. Ooh, very close. Very close. Did I go under the wall? No. Okay, just shy. Just right of the post. Okay, we can see Spain pressing really, really high in the first phase, which is something they've done the whole Euros. Yeah, man for man, just closing them down, super aggressive, no space at all. Oh, really nice ball in behind. That was beautiful, in behind the fullbacks. Gundogan maybe slowed it down a little bit too much in that situation. Maybe he could have pushed forward a little bit more. And then another counter. Open game so far. I expected it to be a lot more cautious than this, but it does look like both teams are just going for it. Almost attacking through the middle, ball out wide into Morata. Let's see if he can do anything from it. A bit of a deflected shot. Not the best. I think he tried to rush that move a little bit more. I think he had time to maybe play it into Cucurella on the overlap. But yeah, the Spanish press has been really good this Euros, and I like how aggressive it is because, again, it's not something you see too much in international level because it is quite dangerous. They did get caught out. But I think, yeah, the key here was getting the space in behind the fullback. So it did look like, I think it was Olmo who pushed out. So maybe more, later on in the game, they might try and look for a more central ball into cross. But here we go, another counter-attack from Germany. Musiala, this case, on the right. We've got the overlap from the fullback as well. Nice ball into the half space. Can he find anyone in the box? No one there. Are fullbacks going to be key in this game? Because it does look like they're pushing very high up the pitch. This is an open game. Again, the TV broadcast didn't really show any of Spain's build-up, but they've got so much space between the lines. And now they're right on Germany's box with space on the edge for a shot. No, yeah, doesn't quite find the back of the net. But again, good chance. Looks like Ruiz moving a little bit further over to the right here, trying to create a little bit of a cluster of players. Yeah, nice positioning, but a bit of a rushed shot. So again, we've got another build-up here. I want to see which Spanish players are actually closing down, especially if it's the fullbacks. If it's the midfielders, the box-to-box midfielders going on the fullbacks, or if it is the fullbacks, Spain's fullbacks in Carvajal and Cucurella that are pushing up. So yeah, it's Williams on the right. And then, yeah, there is space in the center. Okay, because I think Germany are pushing these players. So they are leaving one player free because they are keeping a 2v1 with Havertz at the back. So it does mean they are slightly outnumbered in the center here. So I think, yeah, maybe this could be a key area for Germany. This little space here. Depending on how they want to press. If Chan is playing really deep, Gundogan could maybe find a little pocket here. Should try using Kroos as bait. So do you mean drop deep a little bit? I think, yeah, they haven't been able to do that yet. We're maybe seeing it a little bit more now as he's dropped into the defensive line. On the right, he's usually on the left flank, but I think obviously from any position, he can be dangerous. So why do you guys think everyone is building with a back three? I know Spain are probably one of the only teams that I've seen consistently build with a back four, with the fullbacks out wide, but we can see Germany do it now, building with a back three. In this case, with the fullback hugging the width, not really Cross doing it. But I think it's down to how most teams are looking to defend, because if you look, even Spain in this case, they've got Morata and Yamal up top. I think with a back three, it's just simple math in the sense that you can outnumber the opposition's first press and make it a little bit easier to just free up a player. And this pocket of space here on the left channel. So if we look at how Germany are building, this is like a pocket I've seen so frequently at this Euros, and not just like the pocket of space either side of the centre backs, like in the half spaces during build up, but specifically the left inside channel where Kroos plays, where for Switzerland it was Rodriguez. Lots of players trying to pick up that position, something dangerous. And I'm not sure if it's just a coincidence that every team is doing it with their left fullback, left centre back. But yeah, it just seems to be a super exposed position that teams are looking to start their attacks from. Both Germany and Spain are doing it as well, because if you consider Cucurella and Laporte, that's on the left channel as well. So Melo, I think teams should stop dropping to their own box. I think teams at these Euros seem really vulnerable to the counter-attack, but teams just don't use it. So we saw that again with Spain as well, didn't we, against Georgia? Georgia had some really impressive counter-attacks. Obviously, they scored one, but I think they had a chance to make it 2-0 quite early on in the game. And yeah, it was counterattacks can be lethal. They can be dangerous. I really like the way Georgia did it because they played on the diagonal a lot. So if Georgia, for example, they regained the ball on this side, they were not afraid to just switch it into the opposite flank. And they played like this a lot. They did the same against Turkey in the group stages, getting a goal from counterattacks. And yeah, just really, really impressive. So Spain looking to go direct quite a lot. So Gabriel, even the worst centre-back, looks good on the ball with a back three and build-up. So yeah, so just a little bit more protection maybe to give to the players. I think, yeah, that makes sense. But I think we are seeing centre-backs getting more confident on the ball and just get a little better in possession. I think Arsenal, yeah, just put in a bid in for Calafiori, a player that is really good on the ball. Not just at passing, but just breaking the defensive line as well. So who's playing better? Oh, good stop. Havertz, header into the middle. But yeah, crosses into the box there from Kimmich. So it does look like, yeah, Kimmich hugging the touchline. Sane playing a little bit more in the half spaces. So D, who's playing better? So I'd say the first, what minute are we in? So 20 minutes. I'd say the first 10, 15 minutes was probably Spain. Looked a little bit more dangerous going forward. A couple chances fell for Pedri initially, and then we had Olmo as well. Nice free kick from Yamal. But I think Germany have been good the past 5 minutes. They've gained a little bit more control of the game. We're starting to see their build up a little bit more. So curious to see if we can figure out exactly what they're trying to do, if it's something similar. But it does look like we've got Kroos in his position out wide. Raum hugging the touchline. And then, yeah, these overloads on the flank. So Sane playing quite narrow as well. If we look at his position, he's definitely leaving the width for Kimmich. It doesn't look like Sane is going to be the player to get the ball out wide and cut inside. It does look like, yeah, Kimmich pressing Cucurella. So we've got a slight difference in pressing shapes as well, if I'm not mistaken, because I think Spain are pressing with their midfielders and wingers on the fullbacks, but Germany are going with their fullback to fullback, which I like. Is aggressive. It does leave a little bit of space in behind, like these pockets here where Rudiger's just recovering the ball now. Could be dangerous. So, John, how do I think Germany are going to score? So, I think based on how they've started, it could be similar to what we were saying, predicting kind of at the start of the match. Maybe like an overload from Kimmich and like a run into the half space, either from Sane or even Havertz, maybe curving his run. And then I wouldn't be surprised if it's a cutback to either Gundogan, to Gundogan on the edge of the box, or maybe Musiala coming over. So we know Germany like to do this. We look at, I think it was their first goal of the competition against Scotland. We had these players over here all making runs into the box. Nice shot again from outside the box there for Spain. From Laporte actually pushing quite high up. But we had, lots of players making like runs this way. And it frees up a lot of space on the edge of the box. And we saw it with Wirtz in their first match, making like a darting run into the center like this to pick up the ball on the edge of the box. So maybe something similar, closer to Spain's box. I don't know if outside the box a finish like that with someone like Rodri, I don't know if that's easier. Obviously, the goal I'm talking about came against Scotland, so not as much protection in front of the defence, arguably. I don't think anyone's going to be offended in me saying that Rodri is better than any Scottish midfielder. Yeah, Pingo, it does look like Germany are using their fullbacks aggressively. So we can see it even now in their build-up. Something they've done the whole competition, really. But yeah, they've got the back three of Rudiger, Kroos and Tah. Emre Can acting as basically the only holding midfielder. And then I really like, if you look at this move here, I just love this like central cluster of players that they're able to create, because it just creates a lot of confusion in the opposition's defense, because there's so many different players that they can pick up. So in this case here, that was a nice little attack. Nothing really came of it, but it makes it difficult for the opposition to predict which player's going to maybe run in behind, which one's going to drop deep. And if you're not careful and you let, for example, Laporte follow Sane, then you've got a nice little diagonal for Havertz to find pockets of space in. So I think, finding the fullbacks out wide is a really nice strategy for Germany. It's worked well for them so far in this competition. Rodri has nothing on Lord McTominay. You're right. McSauce, he's number one. So this cluster in the center, we covered it in the Euro Trends video that I recently made, but I really like how this group of 4 works well. I think it worked really well with Wirtz when Wirtz was in the team. So again, I'm surprised to see Sane start again, but he hasn't had a bad game. He hasn't had a bad competition. I think maybe Wirtz is someone that could definitely have a big impact in the second half. But yeah, this cluster of players here is a really fun one to watch. And it's, again, I don't want to throw the word relationism out too much because I feel like it is a little bit of a buzzword, and this isn't really relationism, but I do like the kind of more free-flowing nature that these clusters create, because again, Havertz is a player that likes to drop deep quite a lot. Gundogan's not really maybe going to make these runs, but acts a little bit of support. Musiala's going to make these runs. Sane's going to make these runs. Havertz will make these runs at times. Lots of different combinations that can emerge that can very quickly just create a bit of disruption in the opposition's defense, make it difficult for them to really find space. So yeah, thanks guys. If you're enjoying the stream, please please leave a like. It really helps the stream. It really helps it reach new people. And yeah, we'll keep doing these. Unfortunately, I can't do any of the other quarterfinals because I'm away this weekend, but I'll definitely try and do the semifinals and the final as well. So I'm curious to know, which team do you think is going to be in the semifinal? Which match would you like to see? Would you like to see Spain-France or Germany-France or Germany-Portugal, Spain-Portugal? And then on the other side as well, England-Turkey, England-Holland, Switzerland-Turkey, Switzerland-Holland. Lots of different combinations. Lots of teams that really deserve to be there. It's cool to see Switzerland, like they're playing really, really good football. Turkey played really, really good football in the group stages. I think they got not lucky against Austria, but it was a different kind of themed game, very aggressive defensive game. So double down, England's coming home. Yeah, as usual. Spain could get a goal even if they hope ball up front because of the quality of the Spain attacker. Yeah, I think their wingers are super quick, so it could definitely be an area they can exploit. So Neon, Germany, Portugal, England, and Turkey. Yeah, that's a good 4. As an England fan, obviously, if we make it past Switzerland, I would prefer to play Turkey compared to Holland, because I think Holland have more individual players that could maybe on their day be a little bit more dangerous. Obviously, Turkey have some amazing players as well. Kadioglu, Şanologlu, Gula, lots of really talented players. So it's a difficult one to call because, again, England have not been good. And I've seen some reports, not really reports, but like opinions from the English media trying to portray England as a little bit of the underdogs going against Switzerland. I don't know what you guys think about that, because Switzerland have an amazing team. But again, England have, if you just look at the players, Williams dinked onto the back post. No one there to finish it off. Yamal a little bit late. Good defending there from Germany. Gary, no, I haven't seen any of the Copa America. I really want to. I might try and watch some of the later games now that they're getting into the later stages of the competition. I've heard some things. I've seen a few highlights, but I just haven't had time to watch any of it. And I really want to dedicate the channel to the Euros, get as much content out on the Euros. But maybe when we get to the final, I'll see if I can cover something on the Copa America as well. Double down Uni, I agree with you. I think they should play Weghorst over Depay. I can't stand Depay. Again, nothing personal, but I don't enjoy watching him play. I just think he's a little bit soft in the box. Weghorst is like just a classic striker, which, again, they haven't really been scoring, but it's just more fun to watch. Especially after he came on and they scored in their opening game. There was just felt like there was good vibes against with the Dutch team and the Dutch fans. And since then, I don't know, they've kind of fizzled out a little bit. Obviously, they played well against Romania. I think Romania played really well, even though they lost 3-0. They had some big chances. But here we go. Germany, Spain on the edge of the box. But it's a foul, and Germany can regain possession. So let's see if there's any changes tactically speaking. But it does look like Germany are continuing to their theme of really wide. Would you call it a back 5? I'd say it's a back 3 with the fullbacks hugging the touchline. Sometimes I call this like a 3, but I don't know if you can call it a 3 because it's super wide, and I don't really know if it makes sense to call something like this deep a 3. But essentially, it is a line of players across the pitch that are pretty similar position, and then you've got these 4 players up top that can obviously create a lot of danger and a lot of combinations. And we're seeing it here again in real close proximity, real nice. I think, yeah, it made sense when you had a player like Wirtz in the team because he plays like this for Leverkusen. Leverkusen are a team that create these clusters of players with like Frimpong on the flank, Wirtz coming over, lots of really dangerous players. So it is very Leverkusen in its sense. So either 3-3-1-3. Yeah, I think I called that. I said that in like my video as well, but I wasn't sure if people were going to be like, how do you call that a 3? But okay, I'm glad you would call that a 3 as well. So yeah, I'd say 3-1-3. 3-3-1-3, yeah, that makes sense. Gundogan is the 1, and then you got these 3 as well, which can very quickly transition into 3-2-5 even if you have Can and Gundogan, because Kroos is obviously a little bit deeper, or maybe even like a 2-3-5 when you get really aggressive. Do I think England should switch to a back 3? I don't know. I think England's weakness has been the left back position. Well, there've been a lot of weaknesses, but I haven't enjoyed our left wing like entirely, and I think the fact we have no one that can play in that position is a massive oversight from Southgate. But I don't know if switching to a back 3 is the right solution, because if it's Southgate, it's not going to be a back 3, it's going to be a back 5. It's going to be so boring. Some teams like Switzerland, I know I've mentioned them a lot, but their back 3 is a back 3. They keep a back 5. They're super aggressive in possession. They're really, really fun to watch. They're not too concerned about leaving these pockets of space in behind here. So they push their wing backs really high up the pitch, and they are a little bit exposed on like counters in these positions. But screw it. It's good football. It's fun. It works. If it's Southgate, I think you'd be like, oh no, you have to cover this. You have to cover this. We'll go to a back 5. Maybe it'll be a back 8 at times, and it's just not as fun. So personally, I don't think England should switch to a 3-4-2-1, I think is what you said. I wanted to see a 4-3-3 with Bellingham and Foden as the 2 box-to-box midfielders, with a left winger in Gordon and Palmer as well. But that's just not going to happen, because I don't think we need to play a double pivot. I think Mainu's obviously great. I really enjoy watching him. But I just feel like Rice is good enough to do that position on his own, like Rodri. I think Ruiz and it's Olmo now, but Pedri. I mean, Bellingham and Foden, Ruiz and Olmo and Pedri, like they're obviously all amazing players. Why can't we do like a similar midfield of, instead of Ruiz, Rodri and Olmo or Pedri, you have Rice, Foden and Bellingham? And then Kane has a little bit more space because you have a winger, and Kane has options. When he drops deep, he can then move it out wide and shift it out wide. So I don't know. I think a 4-3-3 would suit England a little bit more than a 4-2-3-1. So Spain in possession now. Nice little move. It seems like the past 15 minutes, Germany have really taken control of the match. A little bit more controlled in possession, not losing the ball as much. Maybe Spain are trying to speed up their attacks a little bit too quickly, and it is leaving them a little bit stretched, I think, at times, which I think was working at the start of the game before Germany had a chance to like level out their lines a little bit. But now Germany have got control, and their players are playing where they need to play. I think it's working really well. It's interesting to see Kroos playing a little bit more centrally than in the previous games. The previous matches, he was nearly always the left centre-back of the 3, or the left of the back 3. But now he's in the centre a lot more, which I think could work if you're trying to pick out Emre. Well, I suppose it's probably Kroos to Can is probably not the most likely passing lane. It's probably more vertical even. So Kroos to Sane, Kroos to Gundogan. I say that as he passes it. Oh no, it was into Gundogan. So nice switch in play into Kimmich. Ball into the middle for Havertz. A little bit slow there. But yeah, lots of combinations. Yeah, so if we look at Germany in this case, lots of players. Okay, here we go. Into the half space. Ooh, just a bit too slow. But again, okay, so position similar to what we were thinking before the game, isn't it? With these passes into this position here. Obviously came maybe opposite. Oh, he was well offside. Came opposite to what I was expecting. I was thinking more a ball into the center like this. But it actually came from Kimmich making this run, which is just as dangerous, just as good. So let's see Spain. They haven't really built in this game. Simon is playing a lot of long balls. Germany's press isn't too aggressive right now. I think you could comfortably get away with just passing it into Laporte. But it does look like Spain are no nonsense, just trying to get it forward. Is that Williams in the center? It is, yeah. Oh, okay, so Morata had just rotated onto the left with Williams taking a little bit more central position. Trying to create maybe clusters of player in the clusters in the center. Yeah, Williams in the center. I don't know if that's just like a build-up tactic that they were trying. Oh, nice ball. Oh, good save. I think he might have stopped that with his hand there. But nice ball over the top. Good stop. Scuffed the shot a little bit. It was more of the Chelsea Havertz than an Arsenal Havertz. Haven't seen too much of Rodri in possession, but I think that might just be Rodri. He's just hiding in plain sight. Really nice move from Laporte. Cutting into the center. Finding Morata. Dropping deep. We've got Yamal cutting inside onto his left foot. Maybe a little bit too not quick enough there. I don't want to say quick, but yeah. Nice move there from Laporte. Using this again, using the advantage of having to stretch the space as much as possible because of the fullbacks and having lots of players out wide. I think Williams has gone back out wide now. Again, nice little ball into the half space. Williams cuts inside. Ooh, that was such a nice move. Seemed like a weak shot, but really, really nice pass. So the half spaces are being used, but more aggressively in the sense that it's the wingers directly cutting inside. Looks like a little bit of a repeat from Kimmich just a couple minutes ago on for Germany. Leaning back a little bit, couldn't really get any power. Not sure why. Obviously, super quick, difficult move to finish, but I'm not sure why he went for the front post. Yeah, and he's right-footed. I don't know why he went with his left foot. I think he panicked a little bit. Yeah, so I think that confirms it in the sense that both teams are pressing slightly differently. So Germany are pressing with their fullback to fullback, mostly speaking, except in this case here. Oh no, it is Kimmich. But Spain are pressing midfielder to fullback. So it does leave a little bit more space in the center. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Germany's build-up going a little bit more centrally and Spain's build-up going a little bit more out wide. Which is maybe why they're going long balls as well, because they have a lot of support already on the flank, which is why Simon can just skip the first line of press immediately. Because you do have space behind the fullbacks. Germany are very aggressive in their pressing shape. Rudiger's having to move super out wide onto Williams, leaving Tara Morata, and then it must be the left back on Yamal. So maybe they're keeping Ram a little bit deeper and pushing Kimmich a little bit further up. Yeah, this game's going through phases. I agree, Samir. It feels like now Spain are, again, a little bit more on top, but it's been a pretty balanced game. I'm curious to see the statistics. I haven't actually got anything up, but I'm not entirely sure. I'd say it's probably been 50-50 in terms of possession. Maybe a little bit more Germany, just because Spain's attacks have been quicker, so they hold on to the ball a little bit less when they want to create their attacks. But I think Germany maybe, yes, attacks are slightly more structured, but leaving, maybe holding on to the ball a little bit more than Spain, but not creating any more danger necessarily. But we've got Nico here in the half space. Cucurella picking up another ball into Williams. Can he make it past Sane? Dropping really deep here. %60 Germany. Okay. Yeah, that's quite a lot. I thought it'd be more even. Spain are good at doing this. A lot of teams, again, like England, when they reach the final third, there's almost like a 90% chance they're not going to score. They're just so bad at really taking advantage, and you just see these like lofted crosses into the box, which they're just so easy for the opposition to defend. But I think what Spain do well is they reach that position, and then they're like, okay, no space, move it back. They come back to the defense like they are in this situation here, and then they restart their attack. So Andre, what software am I using? So this is my software, the Football Meta software. I still haven't got a name for it. I've been developing it. I haven't been programming it, but I've been working on it with a friend of mine for a few months. Nice shot from outside the box. Good stop. Into the path of Morata. Can he get it back across? And Germany get away with that one. Not the best. I think Neuer maybe could have caught that. But yeah, this is software that I've been working on for a few months. It's not available yet. I'm still trialing it out. Still quite a few bugs to sort out. But eventually I hope to make it public so you guys can trial it out as well. Oh, really nice move from Musiala. Not easy to get past Rodri. Yeah, that was a foul. He had to foul him there. Julian, how are things going for me outside of YouTube? Really good. So YouTube is now like my main focus. I'm not working for any teams this season. But again, with things like this software, and then another thing, I have a new video coming out on the Coach Book, the second channel. That should be out tomorrow, actually. But yeah, I've been working with a number of different coaches, just lots of different projects going on. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Thanks for asking. Germany have more XG. Could you say exactly how much the XG share is for both teams? I should probably try and get statistics involved into the stream. That would help quite a lot. Spain 0-17, Germany 3-1. That's weird. I'd expect Spain to have a little bit more. They've had, that was a big chance there for Morata, was it? Or Williams? Williams' shot surely was quite a high XG. Hello, Diogo. Welcome to the stream. Again, please leave a like, guys, if you're enjoying it. Really helps out. Trying to hit 300 likes. I don't know what we're on, but yeah. Yeah, Pedri had a good chance as well. Gabriel, the best way to block Switzerland's rotations? I think it's difficult to stop them. If you get into the position where they have the players there and they're already creating these overloads, then I think the only way is either you commit a lot of players or you just compact the defensive line a little bit more so you don't allow them to go through the center. But what's dangerous of those overloads is that they do have space on the opposite flank as well. So against Italy, I can't remember if it was Widmer and Ndoye on the right flank. I think it might have been Ndoye. They'd condense the pitch a lot onto the left flank, and then they'd very easily switch play. So I think England need to be careful with that. But I think Switzerland's overloads, I personally think England will be able to defend against them quite well. And I think England actually will be able to exploit them quite consistently as well, because the space behind the fullbacks is one that they do leave vacant quite a lot, especially with Ebischer pushing up quite frequently. So I think it's something that England could use if they get a lot of players forward. And that is a big if. So yeah, it seems pretty similar. Different websites reporting on different XGs. I was expecting Spain to have a little bit more, but I'm not surprised to see Germany and Spain sharing the XG numbers for now. Possession as well. Looks like, yeah, maybe Germany a little bit on top. But I think, yeah, it's been a really, really good game. Even. Some half chances. No real massive chances. I think the biggest chance was maybe Williams for Spain, although it was quite difficult for him to finish. Spain doing quite well without Pedri. I think Olmo's settled into the game quite well. He had a bright start in the first 5 minutes when he came on. Haven't really seen too much of him since then. But I think, yeah, Germany's build-up is just proven to be really effective at these Euros, especially with these fullbacks nice and wide, giving lots of space for Kroos to pick up or whichever position he wants. Haven't seen much of Emre Can. Here we go again. Williams trying to get it in. He's using his left foot a lot. Nick, am I going to make a video on the Dutch tactics? I think I will if they win the next game, because at this point, I don't really have time to make a video on them before they play tomorrow. I have enjoyed watching them. I wanted to do a video on them before in the group stages, but I just didn't get around to it. But I think, yeah, if they make it past Turkey, I'll definitely try and make an analysis with them, try and cover all the teams going into the last 4 or the last 8. Yeah, so Williams getting a lot of 1v1s. I think a lot of them, maybe even with Rudiger or Kimmich, if they can pin Kimmich back, then I think that's when you can get Cucurella more involved in the game. But it does seem like Kimmich is, yeah, super comfortable pushing forward. It does look like Germany are like, yeah, Williams, Rudiger, that's the matchup they're going for. Kimmich on Cucurella. Couple like specific matchups that they want. Even in this case here, really, really aggressive from Kimmich. Yeah, Spain just trying to build up a little bit slower, but again, long ball from Simon, trying to get it in behind the fullbacks, which I think they've noticed are picking up quite advanced positions. So there is space out wide. That is the vast majority of the way they are looking to progress the ball forward. And then, yeah, even if you don't win the duel, you have space to pick it up between the lines. And then you have these chances on the edge of the box. Nice ball out wide into Yamal. Can he make something of it? And I think it's intercepted. A little bit of a counter press from Spain, but Germany do really, really well to keep control of it. There's only, 30 seconds left going into halftime, and we'll do a little bit of a recap of the tactics at halftime. Juan, I appreciate that I've helped you improve in PES. Nice shot from outside the box. I haven't played PES in so long. I haven't played FIFA either in a long time. But PES, I think the last time I played PES was 2012, maybe. I was really good at PES 2008. Amazing game. PES 6 was the best game. PES 6 and FIFA 12. Best football games ever made. Fight me. Spain just trying to build out wide on the right. It looks like Williams is out on the right in this situation here. Maybe switch positions, trying to get a little bit closer to Yamal, see if we can get some combinations between them. I think Cucurella's been good, but hasn't gotten forward too much. I think in situations like this where he can push forward. Obviously, there was a nice through ball into Williams, in behind Kimmich. The space behind the fullbacks does seem to be quite dangerous for both teams. But for Spain especially, it does look like an area they can exploit. So we've got 2 minutes of extra time. Well, we're 1 minute in already. Can Spain finish strong in this half? It does look like they're very aggressive. They got a nice counter press, actually. But that's definitely a foul. Oh, no, play on. Musiala just trying to go through. Yeah, I do like Spain's counter press. It's very aggressive. Okay, so let's get this set up for the second half. So what are your guys' thoughts on the first half? I think it's been really good. Tactically speaking, I think they've both shown what they want to do. There's definitely some spaces that they want to exploit, both of them. And I'm curious to see if anything changes in the second half. I'm not sure if Cucurella just got booked. In that case, that could change something. Could mean they try and overload him a little bit more. It was a good first half. I think 0-0 is a fair result. Maybe like a 1-1 could have been just as good. But the XGs aren't too high. And yeah, let's get another poll going. Let's see what you guys think on first to score. Oh, need to end this poll. So yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying the stream. If you haven't, please do leave a like. So we have, who's got this? Spain, 55%, 600 votes. Spain does look like they're favorites to win the game, according to the chat, of course, which is obviously a really important metric to consider. Let's see who you think is going to score first. Okay, so we will let a few people join at halftime, and then we'll do a little bit of a tactical recap of the first half, see what spaces both teams tried to exploit, if there were any major changes. Surprise, not real changes compared to how they previously wanted to perform. Maybe a slight difference because of the absence of Pedri in the center, but it does look like both teams wanted to keep to their same themes that they have done for the majority of the Euros, really. Yeah, it was nice to see Kroos maybe a little bit more active all over the pitch. Yeah, ETS 1-0 written all over. I hope it's more than 1-0. But we got some statistics now. 52% possession for Spain, at least on the stream that I'm looking at. 4 attempts on target to 3. 8 total attempts. Top 5 passing. Laporte on top for... Oh, no, actually, Kroos on top. Laporte, 94% passing accuracy. pretty good. 86% team average for both of them. And then Ruiz covering the most distance. So, what changed from previous tactics? Well, not really. So we had Germany in the same 4-2-3-1 that they've used for the majority of the competition. Main difference was Emre Can instead of Andrich in the center, maybe Sane instead of Wirtz, but not really a surprise not really too surprising considering how much he's played in the previous matches as well. But I do like what both teams are trying to do. And it does look like they're trying to exploit the same spaces. And I think the main difference that we can notice from both teams is how they're trying to press with both their fullbacks. So Germany are being a little bit more aggressive in their pressing shape. So you have Sane and Musiala maybe staying a little bit more central, trying to keep this like central block of players a bit more active in these positions. And you actually have Kimmich and Raum pushing a lot further up on the pitch, going fullback to fullback in the pressing shape, which does leave Rudiger and Tah on Morata, maybe a few deeper players. I think Raum on this side maybe a little bit deeper because if Spain do move the ball out wide, Musiala has time to shift over. But it does look like they're trying to close off the center and be really aggressive with their fullbacks. Not give Cucurella too much time on the ball, not give Carvajal too much time on the ball. At times, this has worked into into Spain's favor. Especially we saw that early on because there was a nice little combination out wide with Laporte, Williams moving into a little bit more of a central position. And these balls through the half spaces, essentially, can be dangerous for Spain and have been quite dangerous for Spain. They were able to create a few chances. I think we'll see more of these runs from Williams moving a little bit more centrally, trying to get the ball into these positions. Because then if Kimmich has already stepped off his line to close down Cucurella, Sane's maybe trying to put pressure in this position, you can get a lot of combinations in between the lines. And then Ruiz from this position, we saw it quite early on in the game. I think Spain had quite a lot of space between the lines and it was quite easy for them to find space in front of Germany's defense. But then as the game progressed, maybe the first 15 minutes was arguably mostly Spain. But then from that moment on, Germany were able to get a little bit more control in the game. We saw a little bit more of what they were trying to do. And I do like what they're trying to do in possession as well. Not too dissimilar from what they've done so far in the competition. Obviously, there were questions before the game, given that they weren't playing with Middlestat on the left. They had Raum on the left flank, Emre Can instead of Andrich in the center. But it does look like they're keeping to the same principles. The main difference that I've noticed in in Germany, keep getting the teams confused. The main difference I've noticed in Germany is that Kroos obviously still dropping deep in possession, but he's doing it a little bit more loosely in the sense, obviously he does do this quite a lot, but you're seeing him pop up on the right inside channel a little bit more frequently, or maybe in between the centre backs as well. Obviously in the previous matches, at least when I watched him play, he was nearly always in this channel here, in the left inside channel, maybe Rudiger and Tah switching places, lots of different combinations. But yeah, Kroos has been a little bit more active all across the back line. And as we know, this back three is dangerous because it does allow Germany to push their fullbacks really high up the pitch. And you essentially end up with what we were saying earlier in the chat, this 3-3-1-3 shape, which is a fun one. It's a difficult one to stop. And it's kind of blurring the lines between traditional positional football with everyone. You have to stay here. You have to stay here. You have to stay here. If this player rotates, you rotate. It's blurring the lines a little bit. And there's a lot of freedom, especially with these four players up top, which is a fun combination to watch. And a lot of things can emerge from these different runs and movements that these players make. But I do like how narrow Germany keep their front four. And again, if they can get the ball into this cluster in the center, I think lots of things can emerge and lots of different things could happen for Germany. Especially we saw it with one move with Sane picking up the ball, Kimmich gaining a lot of ground, and then like a nice little through ball into this position here. Kimmich then trying to get it across the box, but just his pass was a little bit too slow and was able to pick it up. So yeah, I think we're going to see a little bit more of a similar theme in the second half. I don't think teams are going to change too quickly. I think we're going to maybe start to see some changes in the 60th minute, especially for Spain because they've already made one change with Pedri obviously getting injured. It did look like Cucurella had a little bit of a knock right at the start of the game, so I'm curious to see if he's fine. I think he is fine. He ran for the rest of the game. But I'm curious to see if there's any changes. And let me know if you think there's going to be any changes for both teams. And what changes would you make? I'm seeing someone say, Jason saying Sane's been anonymous. Germany really trying to break the lines up the middle. Yeah, I do like it. I really like what they're trying to do. And again, we said it in the stream. This cluster of players, this more relationist approach that these teams are trying to adopt at these Euros is a fun one to watch. And I'm curious to see how much it really takes hold in club football. Obviously, these changes, they kind of happen first in club football and then they make their way into national level. But I do like how there is a combination of different players and play styles, especially in this German team. You have, you have a lot of experience in players with Kroos and Gundogan, but then you have a lot of new players, young players like Havertz and Musiala, and Wirtz on the bench. But I think Wirtz will definitely make an appearance in this match, maybe in the second half. I hope to see him play. I really enjoy watching him play. And at the end of the day, I feel like I'm a neutral. I just want to see good football. I just want to see good tactics. I think Wirtz does provide that. Especially for Leverkusen. Really enjoyed watching him this season. But yeah, anyone, thank you so much for joining, especially for halftime. If you wanted the breakdown, let me know. Leave any questions in the chat if there's any tactics that I might have missed or you think should focus on for the second half, or if there's any key players that you think are going to have a big impact in the second half. Again, if you haven't left a like, please do. Really helps the stream, really helps it reach new people. And yeah, we'll just get these tactics into the common knowledge of all football fans across Europe and the world. But yeah, I like the fullbacks. And it's interesting. That's one thing when analyzing games, even when I worked as an analyst at like a low level kind of, it was always interesting to see how they used their fullbacks out of possession, how aggressive they were. And it's cool to see the difference in how both teams are approaching this link up out wide, with Germany being a bit more aggressive with their fullbacks, sacrificing, or not sacrificing, but risking this space, essentially. Because at the end of the day, in football, you kind of do just need to essentially say, okay, I want to give you this space, because you can't protect everything. So, for example, I don't know why, if you think of Liverpool, they play with a really, really high defensive line. So they're like, okay, you can have the space in behind if you can beat the offside trap. A team like that was like Postecoglou at Spurs as well. It's like extremely high defensive line. You're not going to have space in the middle, but you will have space in behind if you're good enough to exploit it. So it doesn't look like Germany are saying, okay, you can have this pocket here if you can exploit it, because we've got a lot of quick players that can make it over, a lot of strong physical players. So it's not going to be easy for you. And I think Spain, when they did have their chances, they did come from these positions, mostly on the left. I feel like Yamal did have the ball on a couple of occasions, tried to dribble inside a little bit more frequently, maybe struggled to really have an impact. But I think on the left, Nico Williams has been really good. We saw a nice combination with him picking up the ball. I can't remember if it was Ruiz or Cucurella that played the ball in behind, but there was a nice run into the half space from here, and then he went with his left foot, which was quite weird. I think he should have gone for his right foot, maybe curl it onto the back post to find a little bit more space. So what about Rudiger missing the next game? I think, has he been booked? I might have missed that, but yeah, that's if Germany don't have Rudiger at the back, he's obviously a key player for them, and that's going to be a big miss for them, and it'll be a difficult one for Germany to overcome if they do make it through. Although I do think whoever makes it through in this game, I think they're favourites against Portugal or France. Either or. I think Germany and Spain are both favourites against Portugal and France. Purely not based on players, because they all have amazing players, but I think just the way they've been playing at these Euros, they've been so much better. Like tactically, they just have so much more of an identity. So Alvaro, the obvious answer for Germany would be Wirtz, and Füllkrug for Spain is less apparent to me. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure who you'd bring on for Spain. Usually you'd like to see Olmo come on in the second half, but obviously he's already on the pitch, so I'm not sure what changes they could make. They obviously have, maybe Ferran Torres could be a good choice. James saying Morata needs to stay a little bit further up the pitch in the box. I think his hold-up play is good, maybe just struggling to finish off the chances. And yeah, sometimes when Spain have had the ball in this position, they have maybe been a little bit empty in the box. They haven't had too many players filling the box, essentially. So what do I think about the 2-3 shape? So is that from build-up? But I think I like it. I think it works much better further up the pitch. So when you have control of the ball in the opposition's half, I think like a 2-3 can work well if you go 2-3-5. I think during build-up, I really like the 3-2. So 3-2 I think works really well. Or even a 3-1 like you're seeing with Germany today. You can get away with it. And I think it's something England need to do as well. I know we mentioned it again. England could get away with probably playing with only one holding midfielder. I think England could do a 3-1. Get more players forward. Yeah, Olmo, a bit of a ghost. Like we were saying, I think, he had a decent start. I think his first 5-10 minutes after he came on had a little bit of energy. He was like quite hyped to be there, obviously, and he had a decent chance from outside the box. But since then, he's been a little bit absent. I agree with you. So Adita saying Füllkrug and Wirtz, yeah, both good players. I'd like to see them. I think they'll definitely come on. I think Füllkrug, unfortunately for him, I don't think he comes on before the 70th minute, 80th minute. Frank, sei italiano? No, però vivo in Italia. So if Pedri got the space, Olmo got in the first 20 minutes, this game would have been different. So I think, yeah, losing Pedri is going to be a big loss for Spain. But I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see if he makes it into the semi-final or if he makes it. Yeah, if he's fit. I don't know how bad the injury is going to be, but obviously not great news for Spain, because he's obviously one of their key players in the center of the pitch, and yeah, not going to be an easy one to overcome. So Lamine and Williams are coming inside a lot today. We'll like to see them stay wide and try and affect the game in the 1v1. I think, yeah, I've seen them out wide a little bit, but yeah, they are kind of shifting inside, which I think maybe then you sacrifice the fact that with Spain, because their fullbacks are a little bit more cautious, they maybe hug the touchline more in the first phase. When they do finally push up, it's maybe a little bit too slow. So Cucurella has overlapped, but it's a long run for him to make. It's not as immediate because Kimmich is already high up the pitch. So yeah, with Yamal and Williams in the half spaces, maybe they need a little bit more support out wide, which is something, yeah, I think it works well in Germany's system with, if you consider Williams and Yamal as the wingers, and then you have Sané and Musiala as Germany's wingers. It works better them being more central, because then you already have Kimmich and Raum really high up the pitch. So Jason, if Carvajal pushes up in the second half, there will be problems for Germany. I agree. I think they need to get their fullbacks a little bit more involved. Maybe shift to a back three a bit more consistently, or maybe do a little bit of what Germany are doing. I don't know how Rodri, if Rodri loses a lot, if he drops much deeper, and he maybe stays in the back three, leaving no real holding midfielder, just Ruiz and Olmo to drop. Actually, maybe that doesn't work. Maybe because they only have one holding midfielder, he kind of has to stay there, because you can't really have Ruiz and Olmo dropping too deep to fill in that position. I don't know what you guys think about that. But yeah, if you want to get your fullbacks more involved, maybe you need to sacrifice one flank. So if you want to push Carvajal, you need Cucurella to stay more central. Maybe form a back three in this way. Okay, so Andrich has come on for Germany. It looks like. Was he warming up? Not entirely sure for who. Probably for Emre Can, I'm assuming. Nacho for Spain. So is that for Laporte? So changes at half time. I thought we'd wait longer to see changes, but I like it. I want to see changes quickly. So yeah, interesting to see. So we'll see who they're coming on for. So Wirtz and Andrich warming up. Oh, okay. So he's just warming up. So he's not officially in the starting lineup, or not the starting lineup, but the lineup for the second half as of yet. So let's get the pegs sorted out. Okay, so Nacho for Lenormand. Okay. Nacho's number 4, right? I think so, yeah. So will they invert? As in Nacho on the left? And Andrich is on. Okay. I'm assuming that's for Can. Oh, and Wirtz. Okay, nice to see. Wirtz for Sané. Okay. I thought that was going to be maybe the other way around. So I thought Wirtz would start, Sané would come on. But yeah, I'm curious to see. Okay, yeah, so Can. So now we've essentially got Germany in their starting 11. This is the starting 11 I was expecting. and now they switch to it in the second half. Could be a good strategy. Could be a good move for them to have done something like this. I'm curious to see if anything changes. I think tactically speaking, this just means they're reinforcing their ideas of what they want to do. But now you have another player that likes to play in these half spaces here. So yeah, I think Wirtz could have a good game because Germany were already... I haven't started the timer. What are we on? I think Germany already had a good start. So I think a player like Wirtz could be really good, really dangerous. So similar start to the first half in the sense there's a foul instantly on a Spanish player. So it does look like Germany are doing exactly what they did in the first half. Jogo, am I covering the Portugal-France game? Probably not, but I might do a tactical analysis. As in, no, I'm not going to be live streaming it, just because I thought this kind of feels like a final in a way. Two biggest teams in the competition, arguably. So I wanted to do a live stream of this one, but I'll see if the game is good. We'll probably do a tactical analysis tomorrow, or a tactical analysis of this game. Depends on which game seems to be more entertaining, which game you guys want to see on the channel tomorrow. So we've got Spain in possession at the start of the second half. Again, not too many changes in what they're trying to do. Simon again trying to go long into the space. Okay, so maybe Raum is staying a little bit deeper. So maybe they are only pushing Kimmich up on the pitch a lot more. But Spain's build-up very direct. Not wasting time, just getting the ball forward. Nice ball into Morata. Can he turn it? Ooh, that was a big chance. That was huge. Nice ball from Yamal into the box. But again, this build-up from Spain, just these long arching balls from the keeper into the winger. And then once the ball is in these positions, difficult for Germany to deal with it because they have a lot of players pushing over. And again, we just saw them picking up the ball and then switching it to the opposite flank to Williams, who could then knock it back across the goal. Iconic Morata finishing. Yeah, I agree. I've seen him do it a lot, especially at Chelsea. It seemed like that was his finish every time. Nice little build-up from Germany here. Mostly on the left flank again. But again, good to see Raum pushing up a little bit more. Didn't see too much of him maybe in the first half, but it looks like, again, similar start to the first half in the sense that end-to-end straight from the start. Andrich, ooh, nice curving shot onto the back post. I'm not entirely sure if that was a shot or he was trying to cross that. I think that was a shot. It looked quite aggressive. So Gundogan drifting to the left, Havertz drifting to the left to make that side overload. Yeah, so Spice, I agree. It does look like they're moving over to this flank. Most of Germany's attacks in the first half were down the left, it seems like, or no, it was with Kimmich. So yeah, nice to see Raum pushing up a little bit more. Obviously, Kimmich is a lot more aggressive on this flank here, but it's interesting to see Raum getting involved in that move. So again, curious to see if anything changes in this German central overload. So Pedri has his knee all strapped up. I think he looks okay. I think the fact that he's on the bench could mean that he'll be all right for the next for their next match if they make it through, obviously. So Marcos, I didn't realize there was an actual word for that type of shot cross from Andrich. Again, few fouls at the start of the game, second half, but seems like both teams are settling into the same rhythm of what they were doing in the first half. Aggressive start. Both want to put their foot on the game as soon as they can. But tactically speaking, I think, yeah, similar. Can Cucurella keep it in? Yeah. Again, I think Morata's hold-up play is really good. His finishing is obviously not outstanding, but I think his hold-up play is definitely a key weapon for Spain. And again, it's something I think England, the more I think about it, the more, like, the way Spain play, I think it could suit England's style of play, considering the players we have. But you have a target man in Kane that's good at holding up the ball and then distributing it out wide. You have good midfielders in the centre that can move the ball, but it just doesn't work. So Yamal picking up the ball on the right flank. Again, yeah, nice little drop off from Morata. Ball into the box. Oh, there it is. Edge of the box, Olmo finishing off the move. Yamal gets another assist. Another assist for Yamal. Okay, so I'm going to say, I think that's what we said was going to happen in the first half, wasn't it? I think that's how we said, if there was going to be a goal from Spain in this game, it was going to be from a cutback onto the edge of the box. Or maybe we were saying that for Germany, but I'll take it. It was a ball into this position with Olmo, a late run. Late runs. Again, proving that this Euros is not for strikers. It's not for strikers. Strikers are not scoring, but we definitely have these box-to-box midfielders making the runs, lots of different positions. Curious to see. Nice run from really far away. Just speeding up right at the last minute. I think Germany, a little bit asleep in that position. I think they could have done better. Really smart movement from Olmo. Yeah, I agree. Nice ball. Quite similar to Germany's first goal against Scotland, or maybe it was the second goal, but just onto the edge of the box. Yeah, Germany's defense, again, just a little bit too deep maybe. Seems to be a bit of a theme of these Euros, that defending lines are going quite deep, and it does leave a lot more space on the edge of the box. I don't think any of the changes made from Nagelsmann specifically, or even from Portugal, are the reason for this goal. I think it was just a really nice move from Spain. We saw a little bit of all their players be combining into kind of what we expected. Morata with the hold-up play, moving it out to Yamal. Yamal finally getting the chance to dribble inside a little bit more. And then, yeah, great run from Olmo. Putting his name on the map in the quarterfinals. Why is Megan Rapinoe playing for Germany? So let's see if Germany bounce back, if they find any space. We've got Raum on the flank, cutting it back across. Ooh, that was close. Yeah, life, I agree. That was good patience from Yamal. Didn't rush it. Just knew what he had to do. Got it onto a strong foot. And then really clever run from Olmo. I like the change of pace right at the last minute just to get there before those defenders. But I think, yeah, Germany's midfield got a little bit exposed there. Curious to see if we watch it back, if we get a chance to see where the holding midfielders were, if Kroos was already quite deep, if Andrich was out of the picture. But Germany looking to get straight back into the match. Yeah, how is Yamal 16? It's unbelievable. Spain, again, nice ball, but just cut out from Rudiger. Or Tar even, sorry. Germany, very aggressive. Lots of forward runs, which is fun to see. Creates a lot of danger. Just stretches the defense. Again, deflection onto the edge there, but no German player ready to finish it off. Can Germany create something from this move? Does look like they get more players involved. Andrich maybe already... I feel like I've already seen Andrich on the ball more than I saw Emre Can on the ball in the first half. But maybe that's why they're a little bit more exposed. Maybe Can was acting a little bit more defensively, and with Andrich pushing up a little bit more, maybe that's why they had a bit more space. Spain had a little bit more space on the edge of the box. Here we go, out wide again into Yamal. Let's see what he can do from here. This is a proper 1v1. Cuts inside. Nico Williams with the back heel. I think he might be offside on that one when the ball came back to him. So again, Germany looking to create these small overloads on the flank. Can they work anything into the box? Nice little combination with Gundogan and Wirtz there. But again, yeah, just Spain dealing with it really well. Just getting lots of players there, making it difficult. They're kind of like not really marking, but just kind of sitting in between the passing lanes, making it a little bit difficult for Germany to get these combinations because they're not too close to the German players, but by just like standing in the way, it just looked like Spain were really good at just being in the way of Germany's passing combinations, and then making it a little bit difficult, slowing it down quite a lot, making it difficult for them to find space on the opposite flank. We've got another Spanish player down here. Got Nico Williams and 2 changes for Germany. Okay, Füllkrug coming on nice and early. We also got number 18, who I'm not entirely sure. Didn't get a good look at who that is. So Gundogan and Raum are out. And I think we've got Mittelstadt. Yeah, Mittel. Oh, God. I'm going to butcher this, aren't I? Mittelstadt. I think I got that right. And Füllkrug. Okay, so that's a big change. These are tactical changes as well. Not just positional, but proper tactical changes. So yeah, Germany going quite aggressive. Early changes. That's 4 changes already for Germany. I think, yeah, now they've got a bit more of a target man. Is Havertz still on the pitch? Musiala, Havertz, Wirtz, Kimmich. Trying to see if I've got too many players. Yeah, no, that's right. Haven't seen too much of Havertz in the second half yet. So yeah, I like it. I like to see a big target man up top. Here we go. Spain in behind again with Olmo. Again, these half spaces behind the fullbacks, but doesn't quite find the ball across the box into Morata. Nico Williams nearly picking it up there. But again, the counter press from Spain is unbelievable. Really good at picking up the ball. Just going forward as soon as they get it as well. So, are Germany still going to try and create these central overloads, do you guys think? Because now you've got a player like Füllkrug, obviously a bit more of a target man, so you'd maybe expect them to try and get their fullbacks a little bit more involved on the attack, trying to get more balls into the box. Because he's obviously not the quickest. He's strong physically, and he's good in the air, and he's good in the box. But I don't know if tight combinations are his style. We got Kroos with a long ball into Wirtz. A little bit too out, a little bit too wide, quite slow, but he's quite good at getting it past Cucurella. Nice ball, good defending. So Germany are trying to get more control in the game. Their fullbacks are pushing up quite a lot. We're already starting to see a few more crosses into the box. So, okay, so their tactics are changing slightly. A little bit further out wide. Rudiger, even in this case, getting it in. I think it's going to be difficult. I think 30 minutes of this is tough for both teams. But chances are going to come Germany's way. I like it. I like how quickly Nagelsmann made changes. Is this something he does a lot during the season as well? But I like it. I feel like other managers, especially like someone like Southgate, shot from outside the box, but took a deflection. I feel like they always wait just a little bit too long, but I like it. Your team's down. Some big changes early on in the game. Let's see if anything comes of it. But yeah, I'm curious to see maybe the combination of Havertz and Füllkrug playing as like a... Füllkrug is a target man. Havertz is a little bit of a false 9, is like an attacking midfielder, trying to give a little bit more support. Wirtz and Musiala. So I think you could still create these overloads, but maybe more direct. So hold up play from Füllkrug and then lay off play in behind. Kimmich crossing it in. Obviously, we saw Rudiger get a lot more involved. Andrich pushing up quite a lot. So I think, yeah, Germany are going all-out attack early on. Big men in the box for the corner. Set pieces are a weird one this Euros because they haven't really been too prevalent compared to previous competitions where it was like, 45% of goals are from corners and penalties. Other than the game, what was it, Austria and Turkey, which I think all goals were from corners. Set pieces haven't been too prevalent. And I think that's only good for the game because set pieces are fine. Yeah, sure, they're a goal, but they're kind of boring. Like you want to see some open play goals. You want to see a goal like Omer, just as they show the replay, because that was a really good goal, really well worked. But yeah, I agree with you with King. We've got a game. Germany up in the ante instantly. Love to see it. I think they could be exposed because, again, don't forget, you've got players like Morata, Olmo, Yamal, Williams. Just the front three of Williams, Morata, and Yamal can cause you a lot of issues from counterattacks. Especially Williams. I think he's much better in like a open space than Yamal. Yamal's better maybe at dribbling, cutting inside, linking up play. But I think Williams is just a little bit more raw pace. It's just better at attacking in behind. Lots of direct balls, and it looks like corners are the way forward for Germany. Cucurella having to put it out. Looks like maybe going to play a short corner. No, just going to go long. And we've got Torres coming on. Yamal coming off. I think that could make sense. Yamal's had a great game. Someone like Torres can give you a little bit more protection. Bad decision, says Samir. I do like Ferran Torres. Great player. Would love to see him in the Prem. So we'll see if he's able to pick up these pockets here. Okay, corner for Germany. They've got some big players. Füllkrug, Rudiger, Andrich, Havertz is tall. Tar is tall. They're big, much bigger than these Spanish players. And Tar doesn't quite... who was it? Oh, that was Füllkrug. Oh, I think I misspelled. Oh, yeah, Ferran Torres played for Man City, didn't he? Oh, yeah. That's true, I forgot. Okay, never mind. I don't want to see him in the Prem. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. So, Spain, no nonsense, just long balls. Their build-up has been okay, very direct. Not the most... impressive, intricate build-up combinations, passing combinations, very direct into the wingers. I think they know where the space is and they're not really trying to waste time in finding it. But I think, yeah, Germany super aggressive instantly. As soon as they went one behind, instantly made some changes, even crossed a little bit more aggressive. Lots of balls into the box, which I think when you've got 25 minutes left, 30 minutes left, that can work in your favor. Just slowly try and get lucky with a ball into the box. But the more the game goes on, feel like balls like that, they just become less effective as the team just defends deeper and deeper, and you need to find other types of combinations. But Spain are defending very deep in this situation. And I think, yeah, players like this, like Wirtz, Musiala. Is that foul for Spain? I do not understand that. Yeah, Olmo Morata up top. Says YMY. 4-4-2. I feel like that's a slight victory if you can get this Spanish team to defend in a 4-4-2. Because they basically have never done that. They've always gone like 4-3-3 even without the ball. And then, yeah, if you can get them in a 4-4-2, I think you can control the tempo of the game much more frequently. The only issue is then, of course, counterattacks. King, do I think 2-0 would be a finisher for Germany? I think so. I think Spain, I mean, they've barely conceded any goals this Euro. I mean, I think it was only one goal against Georgia, wasn't it? So I think, 2-0 is going to be difficult. I think it's going to be difficult for Germany to even get one back. They've just defended really, really well. Obviously, the goal they got against Georgia was an excellent counterattack. But I think, from situations like this, if Germany continue to push players forward, it's just going to leave them more exposed at the back. And it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. But these counterattacks for Germany as well. Nice little ball. Maybe a little bit too slow from Havertz into Füllkrug there. But I think he'll have his chance. Again, Spain in possession. Nothing too interesting. Nothing too different. They've done the same thing the whole game. Ball forward. Oh, that's a foul. And that's a yellow card for Germany. Yellow cards are risky for... Oh, Kroos, he got his booking. Never gets booked. But yeah, Spain's build-up super direct. Morata, and then it's good for Morata because he's either... You don't really know if he's going to flick it. You don't really know if he's going to drop it deep. If he's going to play it into the wingers. I think he's been really, really good in this position. Again, maybe a little bit absent in the box, but I get the impression he's not really being asked to do that too much in these Euros. Leonidas, why Yamal and Williams go to the same side? How do they cover up on the other side? So I think that's just one of the trends that we're seeing of these Euros is lots of players trying to get the ball together, trying to create clusters of players. I think, with Germany, you have the 4 players in the center. With Spain, sometimes the wingers are switching places. They're coming closer to connect the play. But you also have the 2 box-to-box midfielders, in this case Ruiz and Olmo coming closer. I think it's just a way to disrupt the opposition's defense. Morata is so underrated. I don't know. I have strong opinions on Morata, just simply because of his time at Chelsea. I think in some situations, situations like this, I feel like he's underrated. He's not maybe going to score you so many goals, but I think his role in the team is super important. But I have not the fondest memory of his time at Chelsea. As a Chelsea fan, of course, I just remember he was always offside. Like every game, it was like 10 times he'd be through on goal or like have a good chance and he'd be, just offside. Kishore, thank you. Welcome to the channel. Where am I from? I'm from England, but I live in Italy. So I've got one team out and my next team's going to be out tomorrow. Probably. Here we go. Spain in behind with Nico Williams pushing onto the defensive line. Rudiger. Oh, that was nice. I think he nutmegged him. Yeah, he's one of the best outside the box, but he's one of the worst in the box. I think that's a pretty good summary of Morata. He has his moments in the box as well. I know for Juventus, he scored some extremely important goals. He kind of reminds me of, and this isn't a comparison, but it's just Nico Jackson for Chelsea. Really, really good at hold-up play. Really good at helping Chelsea gain control of the pitch. Füllkrug knocked it down onto the edge of the box. Andrich, what a save from Simon. That was a good move. Füllkrug doing his part there. Nice move from Wirtz. I think Wirtz has been already a lot more involved in the game compared to... I think he might have been offside there. I think, Wirtz has already been a little bit more involved than Sané has. Or Sané was in the first half. So I think, it made sense to change him at half-time, really. Yeah, Germany's defense too comfortable. I think, they haven't had too much to do. I'm scared, or not really scared, but I'm curious to see towards the end of the match when they start pushing more and more players, if it's still 1-0, if Spain can get a cheeky counterattack going. Because again, Torres, Nico Williams, they can be dangerous with space to run into. Leo, why did Spain's manager prefer Cucurella over Grimaldo? I'm not sure, but I think if you look at Spain's play style, the fullbacks are quite conservative. I think Grimaldo, if you consider how he played for Leverkusen, he's super aggressive, pushes up quite a lot, likes to be in the opposition's half, likes to deliver crosses into the box. And maybe I think the manager wanted a little bit more protection in the back line because they build with a back four. So they want a fullback that's more active during build-up. And I feel like Grimaldo... obviously, I didn't see too much of Leverkusen towards the end of the season and their last matches, but I feel like Grimaldo was maybe a player that was more active in the opposition's half when they had control, but not really a builder. They didn't really build on that side of the pitch too frequently. Maybe they built on the right flank a little bit more. Now, as you go, Havertz, good deflection or good block. Here we go, Germany again, really putting the pressure on. Mittelstadt getting on the ball. Germany's whole defensive line really high up the pitch now. So, yeah, Spain having to condense as much as possible. And we'll see if there's any chances of counterattacks from Spain in these situations. But, yeah, they've got the whole back line. Andrich, Havertz in here as well. Lots of players in the centre. Kroos essentially... Kroos is basically a centre-back, isn't he? I think it's Williams staying up with Morata and Torres a little bit more sacrificed. Great tackle from Nacho. I agree. Need 2000s football back? Hot take. Samir, what do you mean? Like long ball? I hope not. Again, Spain, direct goal kick. Germany, good on the press. Regaining the ball, Havertz on the edge of the box. I think, who was it? Someone said who's slow. Yeah, right sticker. Yeah, not the quickest. Not the quickest. I think in situations like that, you'd probably have better advantages with other players. I think that was clever from... Yeah, that was clever from Torres. Yeah, Hussein, game opening up a little bit. I don't know. It's opening up in the sense when Spain can get the ball, they are attacking quickly and they're creating a lot of chances just from situations like this, slowing the game down. Germany just putting the pressure on. I think there's going to be a couple big chances for Germany. I'm curious to see if they're able to convert them. Do you guys think that was a foul here? I think Torres did well, but I think it was a soft foul. So I can understand why Mittelstadt was quite frustrated. What is my opinion on Havertz? Okay, again, another player I have pretty strong opinions on as a Chelsea fan, having him watched him play quite a lot. I think on his day, he can be unstoppable, but his day, and I'm not talking about the Arsenal Havertz, but on it, his day was maybe like once every 2 months. Like he was just never really on it. I don't know. I think in some situations he can be dangerous. Good cross from Spain onto the second post. I think in some situations, some very specific teams and tactics, he's outstanding. But in other situations, I just think, he slows down the game a little bit too much. Maybe a bit too soft in certain situations as well. I think he worked well in Arteta's system with other players that like he rotates with. But in a little bit more of a static system, I don't know. Yeah. No, I wasn't avoiding the Havertz Arsenal. I was just saying my opinion of him as a Chelsea fan. I think for Arsenal, it was obviously in a system that rotates a little bit more and he's more present in the team and he's given a little bit more license to roam and pick up different positions. I think that's when he's at his best because he's a player like a lot of managers have struggled to give him a specific position and it's difficult to place into a specific category. So if you don't give him a category and you don't give him a position, I think, he can be... I think he can be dangerous. But in this German team, do you guys think he's working well? Do you think there's other players that could do better than him in that position? Anthony Taylor, such a meme. I agree. Yep. My opinion on Enzo Maresca. So I have made a video on the channel if you want to check it out on his tactics. I think... Again, nothing against him. I think his tactics are fine in the sense that it's positional. It could work at Chelsea. I don't know. there's some issues. I think maybe there's too many players in the team, and I think that could be a difficult thing for a manager like that. But I just think it's hilarious how they've given him a 5-year contract. I think there's no manager's lasted more than 4 years at Chelsea since like 1956 or something like that. It's ridiculous. So I don't know what Chelsea were thinking. Thank you, Juddy. Thank you for staying up late. 3:34 a.m. That is very, very late or early. But yeah, appreciate it. Thank you so much. And if you guys are enjoying the stream, again, please leave a like. Really, really helps reach new people. And yeah, let's get everyone up to date on the latest trends and tactics of football. Spanish fans looks like they're loving it. So, Spice the Rocco, looks like Spain has switched to a 4-5-1. So, only Morata up top now. So, Williams maybe sacrificed a little bit more. Oh, nice ball into Wirtz. Fulcrum, off the post. Quick move from Germany on the right flank. I think, yeah, 4-5-1 because they're kind of being sacrificed. Williams has to push back like we saw in this situation. Really nice ball in behind Cucurella for Wirtz. This combination here works really well. And then Fulkrug just doesn't quite get enough on it. Penalty shout. Okay, never mind. I think, yeah, you guys are slightly ahead. I've tried to fix the stream, but I've realized it's actually just where I'm watching it is on a delay, so there's nothing I can do about it. Will there be a Liverpool Arne Slot video? There already is, Shun. I've already covered Slot. Yeah, it's on the channel if you want to do it. I'll be doing other videos and updates once we actually get some tactics, because I don't want to do too many like speculation videos because I feel like they age terribly. But yeah, as soon as we've got some like friendlies and some games, I'll definitely do some updated videos on Maresca, on Brighton's new manager, who I personally don't really know anything about, but I'm curious to see how he plays. On Slot, of course. United, if they make a few signings. Arsenal, if they get Calafiori in. Lots of exciting teams, lots of exciting managers. Lots of managers on the move, especially in Italy as well. Big names. Germany, edge of the box. Wirtz just trying to condense it, trying to turn it inside, but doesn't really work. Live streams during the league. Yeah, I think I will. I think now I've got this software that I can use to analyze games live. I think I definitely will. So Spain have been, Leo, yeah, Spain have been the most pressing team, but it's not working. What are Germany doing? I think it's just the nature of the game. And okay, so we got 2 changes for Spain. Then we'll go back into why their press isn't working. Who have we got? Rodrigo, captain. So changing your front 2 for Marino and Oyarzabal. So we got number 6 and number 21. Two players that I personally don't know too much about. Oh, Muller, I do know a lot about him. Fortar. Okay, very aggressive change. This is going to be interesting if Germany do get the goal and it goes into extra time. What are both teams' formations? So what does this mean for Germany? Are they going with... So Kimmich as the centre-back? No, Andrich as one of the centre-backs. Wow. Rudiger, Andrich as the centre-backs. Middlestat out wide. Kimmich on the right. Yeah, Colby, chips are all in. I agree. Yeah, they've made their moves. They've shown their hand. It looks like it's pretty clear what both teams want to do. But yeah, I'm curious. I think with these changes, if it goes to extra time, Germany have a huge advantage in like forward power and attacking power. These two changes from Spain seem very, very conservative. But I don't really know who else they could have brought on from the bench. Good chance for Germany again. Musiala not quite being able to get enough on it. Just seeing a replay of the goal from Spain again. Really, really nice ball from Yamal. And a lovely finish from Olmo. So, what is Germany's shape? I'm going to need some help on this one. We've still got the 4 central players here. What's Spain's shape as well? Because I don't know too much about Oyarzabal or Merino. So I think you guys are saying 4-5-1 could work, could make sense. Maybe Olmo. Maybe. Oh, counter-attack. Oh, too much on it. I think he had time. I think Havertz had time. That was was that? Oh yeah, he could have played it across. I think. Yeah, he definitely had Wirtz in the center. Big greedy from Havertz. That's gonna cost them big if that's their biggest chance. That was a huge chance actually. I think he didn't realize he had Wirtz making the run for him. So lopsided 4-4-2 for Spain. So we got Merino up top. So it was a kind of a direct change in the sense for Nico and Morata. Spain's shape is weird. Their line of shape, it looks like a 4-2-2-2 in some situations, with like Ruiz and Torres being a little bit more aggressive than here. But I think that's just that situation. But super compact in the center. I think Germany are really going to be able to get their fullbacks nice and high. Muller, obviously, we know he likes to roam around a little bit more. And yeah, only one centre back. Here we go. Spain on the attack. Ruiz. Oh, bad shot. So Marino's a DM. I think swap with Torres. But he's actually playing. Look at him there. He's pressing quite high. So they're pressing with a defensive mid as their first line of press. And Torres is a little bit deeper alongside Olmo. But yeah, Marino's going aggressive. Spain 4-5-1. It does look like, yeah, so man mark on Kimmich. It does look like more of a 4-4-2. So they're trying to put pressure. I think Spain's counter to Germany not having any centre-backs left other than Rudiger is to just put as much pressure as possible on them, trying to rush this initial pass. So trying to scruff these balls as much as possible. Because if they can't play these, then the front 5, the front 6 becomes useless. So it's like you got an aggressive 2, which maybe that's a really clever move. Bringing on a DM or like a really good defender to press the defensive line because he knows which lines he needs to stop. Maybe that's a clever move, but we'll see if that pays off. Okay, free kick for Germany in a very good position. Thank you, YMY. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I think now I'll try and upload a little bit more frequently. Yeah, 40-yard free kicks, I think, unfortunately, they might be a thing of the past. Although we are seeing a slight uptick in long-range goals. Ooh, back post. Can't quite finish it. Good save from Simon, but I think there just wasn't enough on it from Havertz. I think in situations like that is where Havertz can be frustrating at times. He just not as aggressive as you need it. Like if that's falling to Fulkrug, I think that's going to be a lot more dangerous. That's going to be more effective for Germany. Big counter for Germany now. Can he get it across? Okay, no. Another mistake. Another just slightly misplaced pass. Good cover from Carvajal. We'll see if Kroos can get something from this corner. Lots of more corners now. We'll see. I think Germany can be dangerous from these situations, but time is running out. They need to think of something. They need to find some way through. Nice little back heel onto the edge of the box. There's not enough space, is there? Yeah, it's just so compact in there. Spain have all their players within 15 meters. Like this. What do you do? Because you've got a target man who needs crosses. You've got, I like this front two from Spain. Just a little bit more aggressive. Trying to like scuff this pass. I don't know what you do because they're struggling to get balls into the box unless it's these like big hopeful balls. And then once it's here, there's just so many Spanish players in the way that, it's difficult. It's difficult. So Kroos, long ball out wide. Rudiger, really advanced position. Middle step. Nice ball, back post. Oh, flicked on. Oh, Wirtz. It's 1-1. 88th minute. They found a way through. It worked. Okay. Extra time. This is going to be fun. That was a good move from Spain. Trying to get from Germany. Nice ball back. Really clever knock back across the box. And then really nice from Wirtz to finish it off. Huge moment for him. Let's see how this panned out. Yeah, nice from Kroos to put it back out wide to Mittelstadt. Great ball. No offside. And there it is. Squeezes it in. Back post. That was a great little flick on. Kimmich. That was unbelievable. See, that's what Havertz had to do earlier, but just didn't do it. That was unbelievable from Kimmich. Such a great little knockdown into Wirtz. That's a huge goal. Huge goal. Yes, I mean, Wirtz next big player for sure. I think he's proven a lot this season, and a goal like that is massive. Against a team like Spain, potentially taking it to extra time, 4 minutes of extra time, and then another half an hour. And then what is going to happen in extra time? Because these teams have made some big changes. I think Germany have better players on the pitch now, though. I think Spain have nothing up top. I think they were reliant on holding on, and I think this current German team looks better on paper. I think, Samo, like you're saying, managed the game badly. It remains to be seen. Obviously, there's 30 minutes. They still have quality up top that can create some opportunities. But when you have Nico, Yamal, Morata, is different than having Oyarzabal, a DM in Merino, Torres, Olmo. None of these are your starting players, obviously, except Ruiz. But this is going to be tough. Colby, Spain much better in extra time. Okay. So we've got a little bit. Let's see. Let's see what everyone's saying. Ball across, nothing to do. Can Germany get a counter going? Doesn't look like they're too bothered. Oh, that was a push. Surely, no? I think late goals like that, they carry so much momentum going into the extra time. I think they're big, similar to maybe what England had against who was it, against Slovakia. Obviously completely different competition, completely different teams, but scoring late like that just gives your team a little bit of a boost. And Germany have been on top in the second half, and I think I don't know, I'm curious to see, but I'm not sure about these changes. I'm not sure about this Spanish front line, how much danger it can really create. But we'll see, because it's not over. Wirtz just doesn't quite make it. That is true, though, Alvaro, in the sense they have more attackers. I feel like they still have bigger names on the pitch compared to Spain, but they are a little bit exposed because you've only got one starting centre-back on. Obviously, you can kind of form a back four. I think Andrich is still decent in this position. I say that as he nearly gives a handball. Looked a bit risky. But I think just up top, there's so many more options for Spain to rely on. They have a striker on the pitch. Spain don't have a striker on the pitch. But it's good. It's been a good game. Good game tactically speaking. I think second half it's opened up. I think Germany were able to find some gaps, and the way they scored made sense with the substitutions that they made. Oh, that seemed like a big ball. Füllkrug just couldn't put it down. Oh my God, that was close. That was close from Muller. That's what he does best. Just picks up these runs when you least expect them. Joselu for Spain, that could work. I think they definitely need to bring someone on. I don't know for who. Maybe... God, I don't know. Because would you take Ruiz off? Maybe take Ruiz. Okay, going into extra time. Good game, good game. We'll see what you guys think of the tactics of the second half. But I think... What do you guys think of the changes that both teams made? I think the changes for Germany made sense. I think the changes for Spain made sense at the time. They were maybe a little bit short-sighted. But again, I'm curious to know what you guys think and if anything can come of this. And who do you guys think is in better shape for extra time? You guys are saying Germany, 64% in best lineup for extra time. Make sure to vote in the poll if you haven't already. And leave a like on the stream. We're going to extra time. So that means another half an hour of football for us to enjoy in arguably the best matchup of the Euros so far. Spain versus Germany. I think we've been robbed of a little bit of a final because both teams have been so exciting during the Euros and deserving to go all the way. So yeah, it's obviously great that they get to play each other at this stage for us as neutrals or even as Spanish or German fans. But yeah, in a final, it probably would have been more of an like, I don't know, more deserving for both teams in the campaign they've done, because someone like England and France, I know they went into the competition as favourites, but they definitely haven't been favourites during the Euros. They've been pretty boring. So Joselu is coming on. It looks like it, based on what you guys are saying in the chat. Let's have extra time. So Spain are appearing more stretched. Rudiger and Mittelstadt look to stretch the pitch in possession. Yeah, so I think that was what Germany were doing well, and how they got their goal, essentially just by having lots of width. Spain having to go really, really compact. I think the idea, what we were mentioning earlier, of having someone like Marino up top, trying to disrupt this block of players. So like a 3v2 essentially here, but with aggressive players out of possession that can maybe make it harder for Spain to mount any successful attacks. Obviously, it didn't work for them, because then the ball came from out wide, back into the box, back out wide, and then into Wirtz to finish off the move. Yeah, if Joselu scores, that's probably he's probably had one of the best years. That's true. Who do you guys think deserves the Ballon d'Or? Do you think the winner of the Euros or Copa America has a big shout? Whoever that may be. Palmer, love it. I'm leaning towards Vinny. I think he's had an unreal season. Martinez. Yeah, okay. Seems like you guys agree with Vinny. So Anton in for Havertz. If England win the Euros, Kane. I mean, he did have an amazing season for Bayern, to be fair. But he didn't win. So Havertz out for, I think I missed the number. Will Cole Palmer make top 30? I don't know. I think personally he's had an unbelievable season, but I mean, Chelsea have just been pretty rubbish. So I don't know if playing for someone like Chelsea you'd get nominated, considering the season Chelsea have had. But I think, yeah, Palmer top 30. I feel like he could do it. Bellingham, Kane, Vinny. Kane's a name that I haven't really seen thrown into the conversation too much. He's obviously had an unreal season. If he wins the Euros, then potentially, yeah, then that could be good. So we got Anton for Havertz. Let's see. And changes. So we have, did Joselu come on in the end? Salis, I just don't have time to cover the Copa America. I'll try and cover something in the final if there's time, but my focus was the Euros because that's just what I know better. No changes. Oh, okay, so Havertz is still on. Anthony for Ballon d'Or. Love it. So Spain instantly on the attack. Header for Torres, but doesn't quite get enough on it. Germany still building from the back. Love to see it. So Andrich actually pushing quite high up the pitch there. Did they bring on a centre back? Open pitch. Here we go. Wirtz 1-on-1 against Cucurella. Oh, that was a good idea. Good idea to get it back across. Oh, okay. Okay, so Anton did come on. So, okay, so a little bit more balance in the German team. Okay, that makes sense. I think now, 2 centre-backs, you've still got a good back 4. You've got your 2 holding mids. I think, yeah, this German team just has much more structure compared to this Spanish team. You've got a player like Müller who can connect the lines, connect the play. You can still create these overloads if you want to. You still have your fullbacks that can push forward. You still have Kroos that can drop deep. I think, I don't know. Yeah, it looks a little bit better for Germany on paper, of course. But here we go. Corner for Germany in the 92nd minute. And I forgot to start the timer. Of course I did. What is it? Wirtz on the edge of the box, just can't find space. Spain defending well. But it's these crosses from a deep position that got them caught out in the first half. Who do I think is better when it comes to penalties? I don't really know both teams' penalty takers. But again, just looking at the names, Kroos I think is good. Müller, probably. So I'd say if it goes to penalties, I think Germany. They've just got, I feel like, yeah, more consistent penalty takers. Here we go. Spain trying to get Cucurella a little bit more involved in the game. But Wirtz just absolutely bodied him, not letting him through, and it is a foul. Wirtz on a booking. Players need to be careful. I don't know who's potentially suspended for their next match. Yeah, they've got a lot of yellow cards. I feel like quite deservedly as well. They've been quite aggressive, especially at the start of the game. They were super aggressive. Start of the second half, super aggressive. It was like Olmo out wide on the left. Nice ball into the box. Ooh, nearly midway, all the way through. Oyarzabal just trying to attack the box there. Nice move from Olmo. Olmo's had a great game. Who's your guys' man of the match so far? Edge of the box again for Spain, but Germany defend well. Rudiger, Anthony Taylor, Morata man of the match. I could see Morata. I think depends how this extra time goes without him, because there's still some big plays to be made. I think even if Wirtz has a good extra time, I know he came on late, but he could definitely be up for a shout. Rodri hasn't really done anything wrong, as usual. Rudiger, really, really good at the back, especially when it was just him, essentially, as the centre-back. I think he did really, really well. Anthony Taylor, of course. He's got to make a lasting impression. It's his quarterfinal as well. So we'll see. Kind of looks like Spain going back to what they're doing in the first half with these little pockets of space. Nice little run from Cucurella into the half space there, and then switching it out wide into Torres, I'm assuming, on the right flank now, with Carvajal in support. Great little run for Carvajal into the half space, but Rudiger's there to clean up. Spain looking really good at the start of extra time. Moving it well from flank to flank. Good possession. Getting their fullbacks nice high up the pitch. Olmo Cucurella turning out to be a good partnership on this flank here. So maybe these overloads on either flank, getting the fullbacks a little bit more involved. Staying with a back three of Rodri, Laporte and Nacho. Is Marino still acting up top? I think he is. I think he's still acting as like a second striker alongside Oyarzabal. Here we go. Counter-attack for Germany. Can they move it forward quickly? It looks like, again, Spain really good at just disrupting, slowing down the move as much as possible. Nice tackle from Cucurella to stop the move. Oh, quick throw. Wirtz is in here. Can he get the ball across? That was difficult. Lots of Spanish players in the way. German player down, holding his ankle. Who is it? Andrich? Yeah, it's Andrich. What about Ruiz? Yeah, he's had a good game. I think it hasn't been his type of game in the sense he hasn't had much space to maneuver maybe in the center of the pitch. But obviously, I mean, great goal in the, not goal. But yeah, I think he played well in the first half. I think it's been tough in the second half. Maybe, yeah, Cruz trying to, very active, like all over the defensive line in the first half. Maybe not seen too much of him in the second half. Oh yeah, of course, the goalkeeper as well when it comes to penalties. Not sure, I don't know too much about Simon, how good he is as a penalty stopper. But obviously Neuer, we know what he can do. We've seen him for about 50 years. So yeah, team's really getting stretched out now. Nice ball in behind, but Cucurella defending well. Just super active. I think that's where having your cautious fullbacks comes into effect and makes it difficult for teams to counterattack you, because if they're already not too pushed up, they're just like in these positions, they have time to cover and move over. But yeah, I agree with you guys that Rudiger's had an unbelievable game. Essentially is like just holding the play, just moving it well, giving time to his players to pick up different positions. Yeah, Germany building well now. Nice little move out wide. But again, struggling. Musiala struggling to get on the ball in this position. Yeah, Al, if Germany can get both fullbacks wider, it can create big spaces, big chances. I think that's kind of what they were able to do when they got their goal. And it's been their game plan for the majority of the Euros is just get their fullbacks involved. You have the cover of Kroos in the center, maybe Andrich. Now with Müller, I feel like you could still adapt this shape. You can still use this shape with these players on the pitch. If anything, it works just as well. Because you've got Müller that can add the support, can create overloads where you need them. Maybe pick up the ball directly from Kroos with Musiala, Füllkrug pinning back one of the centre-backs. I think, yeah, again for Spain, getting their fullbacks involved will be dangerous. Nice little ball across. Good stop from Simon again. And a little bit of a rush from Andrich, claiming the corner, but I don't think that took a deflection. Really nice little run into the half space from Musiala there. Again, the position of the fullback puts the Spain's fullback Carvajal in a little bit of two minds, and then a nice little ball in behind there. Half spaces have kind of been the story. The combinations out wide. Similar for both teams in the sense that that's where they want to find their combos. Different use of fullbacks. So maybe for Spain, it was mostly the wingers out wide. For Germany, it was the fullbacks picking up the space, picking up the ball out wide, or maybe playing the ball into the half space for the wingers to run in between. Yeah, Ankor, I agree. Musiala and Wirtz good, but you need fullbacks. So if you're able to get your fullbacks in position out wide, then I feel like Wirtz and Musiala, it's like a superpower. They're extra good because they have distracting runs for fullbacks. Because if you pick up the ball in this position and there's no player here, then it's pretty easy for the fullback to just easily close them down and go for a 1v1. But if you have the player making the run, and maybe Torres doesn't follow in this case, then what does Carvajal do? Does he step out? Does he go out wide? And we're seeing it a lot. As the ball goes out wide, they make these darting runs into the center. So really, really good, especially with like a target man like a Fulkrug as well, pinning back one of the center backs, making it difficult for them to effectively outnumber this position. Simon's played so many long balls, but it's worked. Joselu for Ruiz. So, change in structure again. What are we thinking? Spain, edge of the box. Nice shot. Ooh, that was close. That was close from Oyarzabal. Nice shot. No deflection, no corner. Maybe Merino a little bit deeper. Now you have... Yeah, Merino maybe drops a little bit deeper now. Keep these two as a front two. Olmo, Rodri. It's starting to get a little bit more structure now. 4-4-2. So maybe Germany had to take advantage when Spain was still transitioning their changes. But yeah, we've got it. So kind of confirms it. Anton, Rudiger, deep line of 4. And then you got these two pressing. Olmo, Torres, and then a midfield 2 of Rodri and Merino. Or maybe just Rodri, a little bit more protection. Yeah, Andres, imagine being Ter Stegen. You're one of the best goalkeepers in the world, but you still don't start because you got Neuer ahead of you. And you will have Neuer ahead of you every day for the rest of your life because that guy is endless. How long has Neuer been around? How old is Neuer? Rudiger just popping up everywhere on the right flank now. I think, yeah, if Germany can get this width, get their fullbacks involved, if Kimmich can push up a little bit more, yeah, screw it, get Neuer involved in the build-up. 38, I thought he was older, to be honest. Feels like he's been playing, honestly, for 30 years. 1 minute, and then second half of extra time. I think, oh, good ball. Into the half space. Wirtz, edge of the box. Oh, that was close. That was close. Very similar to his goal against Scotland, but coming from the opposite flank. Edge of the box again. Similar situation to Olmo's goal, really. Cutting inside and then someone on the edge trying to finish it. Slightly more central for Olmo. A little bit of an easier finish. But that was good. Nice quick move from Germany. All the German players and the coach with their hands in their hair. Yeah, they were ready. They wanted it. Second half of extra time. I think Germany had the advantage at the start, considering the players that were on the pitch. But I think the changes from Spain have leveled it out a little bit. So they have a little bit more structure if you consider it a 4-4-2. I think, yeah, clever changes from the manager. He maybe went a bit too strong with the changes at the start of when they were winning the game. But I think maybe he's balanced it out a little bit. But I still think on paper, this German team is better. Like you guys were saying, if they're able to get their fullbacks involved, then the roles of Wirtz and Musiala can become a little bit more dangerous. But as it stands, I think it's pretty even. So a big chance now for Wirtz falling on the edge of the box. But Spain have also been quite dangerous going forward, especially Cucurella at the start of the half was making some nice runs into the half space. So again, if both teams are able to get their fullbacks a little bit more involved, I think we could see something happen. And I think there's still a lot to play for in this second half of extra time. And I'm curious to know if you guys think it's going to penalties, if you think someone's going to end out on top. I think, again, from this position, my money's still on Germany, looking at the players at their disposal. But again, really difficult to call. Both teams super effective in possession. Spain very direct all game. Not much build up. Germany were a lot more comfortable building from the back. Spain were looking for these direct balls into, it was Morata in the first half, wasn't it? But then, yeah, still even in the second half, I think there was a few balls into Torres, into Oyarzabal up top, into Olmo. Yeah, and Germany had better chances, but still everything can happen. I think that chance for Wirtz right at the end was big for Germany. Okay, second half of extra time. Last 15 minutes. Do we want penalties? I think penalties would be fun. I think it's only fair. I don't feel like one team's been significantly better than the other. Both teams have had big chances. Here we go. So yeah, last 15 minutes. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't left a like, please do. It really helps the stream. Really hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know if there's any tactics in particular that we need to pick up on. Any teams left in the Euros that we specifically need to make a video on to analyze how they're playing. And yeah, give me your score predictions for Portugal-France as well. We're only 40 minutes away from another really big fixture. I know France and Portugal haven't been the most entertaining teams. Fulkrug holding it up, edge of the box. Big deflection. They're calling handball. They're all calling handball. Musiala was adamant that was handball. Clear handball. Everyone looks shocked. So does Anthony Taylor, which doesn't surprise me. Oh, that's big. That is, his hand is all the way out. Yeah, 100%. Has to be a pen. Is it not even going to VAR? It has to. Surely he's going to VAR. Yeah, he's got his mic in. Is it not even getting checked? Is it actually not even getting checked? No handball. Okay, I don't understand the rule anymore. I don't know what's going on. That's the... Yeah, but it's by his side, but it's all the way out. It's not touching it. Look at Cucurella's face. He knows he just got away with murder. There's no way. That's not... At least look at it. I don't know, man. When the Prem announced that they wanted to scrap VAR, I was all for it. Not because of the technology, but because the people working at VAR are just completely useless. They ruin it. Like, you have a black and white technology... and you have rules that are not black and white. Can anyone clearly tell me what the handball rule is? Because no one knows. Even Cucurella, he was like, that's handball. IDK, how is that not handball? Handball shouldn't be given unless hands are up, in my opinion. But I thought the rule was if your hands are like by your side, so something like this, then that's fine, not a pen. But if your arms are out here, like his arm was like, you can't really see in the thing, but his arm was like, it's kind of like there. So I'd say that's a pen. I don't know. There wasn't much he could do about it. Natural position, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Any handball, I don't know if any handball is, maybe it's a little bit too much. It's just such a hard rule to interpret because I think at the start of VAR, they tried to go black and white in the sense that it was like, okay, if it hits your hand, it's a pen. And that ruined it. That ruined it so much. But Germany, again, on the counter, Füllkrug couldn't quite turn it. His arm was behind him in the sense that what? So, I don't know. Okay, wait. Let's sort this out. Let's sort this out. Because I can't tell what you guys are saying. Okay, everybody vote. Everybody vote. This is the most important poll we've done all stream. 88, 89. You have to vote. You have to vote. I'm voting as well. Yeah, it looks pretty adamant. Yeah, you see like a lot of players, maybe they put their arms behind their back. They try and do that. But I don't know. In that situation, I don't know. Yeah, he was trying, but he didn't manage. As we see, Rodri completely wipe out Muller. 81%. Okay, yeah. So we got... It looks like a lot of people in favor of the handball. Every time they film a Spanish player, they all seem like they know. They just got away with it. Pablo, no pen. Something tells me you might be biased, though. Yeah, I feel like it's ridiculous that they didn't even check it. But, I mean, because it's so obvious at the same time, like, it obviously clearly hit his hand. So the VAR room must have been like, no, it's not a pen because, I don't know, for some reason or another. Zach, the Tactics board is my own software that I've been working on. Not available yet, but I plan to make it available hopefully for the start of the new season, but still a few bugs to sort out. And this bad boy is the OG Tactics board. If any of you have been here from the start, you'll know that this is what started Football Meta. But I can't use it anymore. It's just a prop. So I feel like tactics are kind of irrelevant at this point. You're seeing a lot of like 1v1s, maybe in this situation with Olmo cutting inside. Oyarzabal picking up the ball on the edge of the box. Little combinations, but yeah, it's all out. Just quite an aggressive game. I'm curious to know what the atmosphere is because I haven't got the audio on from the match. So I'm assuming it's quite loud in there. I'm assuming there was a big roar for the pen. I'm assuming a lot of controversy. The most used formation at the Euros, Zach. So it kind of falls into two categories, at least from what I've noticed. I obviously haven't seen every team and every formation that they use because some teams have changed a little bit. But it's like the main nations, if you call it that. So like Spain, Germany, France, England, on paper, main nations. Good shot from outside the box. They're mostly going like a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3. But then there's more like challenger nations. So like Switzerland, a lot of teams that have now been eliminated. I think Portugal sometimes, but a lot of teams also start with like a 3-5-2, 5-3-2. So yeah, it's kind of two categories, either a back four or a back three. But most teams, the vast majority of teams, I think Spain is one of the few exceptions, are building with a back three. So they keep in this case with Spain, you've got the back three, which is done with Cruz. Other teams, they do it with their, not maybe their holding midfielder, but they have one fullback move inside and the other push up. So lots of different ways that they're doing it. If you want to know more, I did recently make a video on the channel covering some of the trends of the Euros. I think it's like the second to last video that I uploaded. Some talking about the back three, talking about the front two pressing shape, why a lot of teams are using it. And some other trends, including like overloads, that's something Spain and Germany both do, trying to get a lot of players in close proximity to exploit these spaces, and maybe a change that we're seeing in how football is being played at club and international level. Again, seeing a replay of the shot again, I think, I don't know, there was nothing Cucurella could have done, but at the same time, come on. Holland, I think they go back three as well. Again, I haven't seen too much of them, but I think they build with a back three. Mostly with one of their holding mids. Or do they actually start as a back three? I can't actually remember what formation Holland play in. So the key to understanding Spain's pressing is to watch the way they form a barrier across the middle, then close it down. Essentially limits the width of the pitch to half the size. So I think, yeah, Spain's press has been one of the most entertaining at this Euro. Super well organized, super aggressive, and they are really good at just compacting the space between the lines. So yeah, good insight. Zelandak, thank you. No worries, Zach. Appreciate it. Was it offside before the handball? I might have missed that. I didn't actually see any call for offside. If you could change the rule, it would be if it impedes play. But again, I agree with you that they need to change the rule. But what does impede play mean? That's still not a black and white rule. Like, because for me, that doesn't impede play, but for you, that does impede play. It's not like offside. Like, I know offside is annoying when someone's toenail is offside, but in the sense I can kind of get behind the fact that, okay, VAR at this point is starting to be accurate with the automated offsides and stuff. Still annoying that you have to wait for some calls, but at least that's black and white. You're either offside or you're not. It could be a millimeter, could be a meter, but that one is like, I feel like we've kind of accepted it with VAR. But again, with rules that are not entirely clear on like what's exactly happening, it's really difficult to implement VAR. So maybe for something like handball, you just go for the ref's decision. Maybe you can't VAR a handball. If the ref gives it, he gives it. If he doesn't give it, he doesn't give it. Maybe that could be a solution. I don't know. Rules favor attackers, but I feel like in a way, isn't that what we want? Because we want to see more goals. There was the offside rule that they were calling, where, for example, if we do, I think it was, who was it? What have I done? I think it was Wenger who's saying like now offside is, so if the defender's here and Fulkrug's here, he's offside, but they want to do it so if he's just in line with the defender, then he's onside, which I think would be a massive advantage for strikers. Maybe too much. Oh, what a stop. Yeah, Samir, maybe that could work. Cancel VAR for handball. Uh-oh. I made this line too narrow, and now I can't click on it. Oh well. That's another bug. That was a great save from Simon. Yeah, cancel VAR for handball. Why not? For black and white rules, you go for the referee's judgment. For things that VAR can actually help with, like offside, you use it. Maybe that could work. I don't know. Yeah, Owen, I agree. I feel like it's such a huge advantage for the strikers to give them like the whole defender as an offside. And yeah, it could lead to more passive defensive approaches, maybe kill the game a little bit more. Because I see what he's trying to say. In his eyes, if it stays the same, you'd allow so many more goals. But teams would adapt. They change their they change their structure. And yeah, trying to defend a little bit deeper. What's my profession? Are you coder? No. So I didn't program this software. Like a friend of mine is doing the programming, but I'm working on like the visuals and the features of it. My profession is a match analyst, a football analyst. That's what I've done past 4 or 5 years. Worked for a number of different clubs, but now, yeah, just do it on YouTube. So the problems on handball came when FIFA issued 3 clarifications as what is meant by deliberate, and after a while refs in Germany started using the clarification as the base rule. Oh, Spain on the attack. Oh, they've done it. Oh, they've done. Wait, is it? Oh no, it's Merino. Oh, robbed. Absolutely robbed. It was a pen. The poll says it. It was a pen. I don't care what 27% of you say. It was a pen. Merino for Spain in the last minute. That is unbelievable. Against the host nations. Wow. Great ball into the box. Great goal. Great goal. Cucurella, nice and wide. I think was it Olmo, and then a nice little darting run into the box. I am very curious to see what the reaction to this is. Taylor is a legend in Spain. I should have put who's going to win this game: Spain, Germany, or Anthony Taylor. That was a great ball. What a header! Very weird. Yeah, Olmo, nice ball, cutting back. How wide were Marino's legs on that header? Wow, that's crazy. No pens. I was looking forward to penalties. Oh, wow. That was a great header. That was a really, really good header. So, do you think Spain deserved to win it? Yeah, I feel like we all said Marino up top, really? It definitely worked. Did not expect that. Did not expect that. Wow. In their own backyard. Spain look good. They look good. They've looked good from game 1. And beating Germany, I think Germany were probably the biggest test at these Euros. So, yeah, making it through like that. Huge, huge result for Spain. Three minutes of extra time, but yeah, Germany just trying anything. Get it. Oh, that was a nice little flick. Ooh. Oh, nearly made it 3-1 actually. Good little counter there. But yeah, Germany, not much they can do now. Just have to push players forward. I want to see Neuer just leg it. Thank you, Words. Thank you. Glad you enjoyed it. It's been a great game. I think I'll do an analysis of the match on the channel tomorrow if I can. Obviously, need to watch the Portugal France game as well, see how that pans out. But yeah, it's been really, really good game. Salis, have you predicted Spain's evolution? I'll be honest, no. I thought I didn't pay too much attention to Spain coming into these Euros because they haven't been the most relevant nation in the past few competitions. They've struggled a little bit, going through a little bit of a transit. Oh my God. I thought that was in. That was huge. That was a big chance. But no, I didn't expect Spain to be this good. He could have done better. He was not marked. Yeah, Spain were not a team that I'd considered much. Again, I looked at the starting lineup. I was like, yeah, could work. Maybe starting 11 is good. Few issues from the bench, but they've just been so solid. No, I'm not staying live for Portugal France because I wouldn't be able to stream it, or I only have time to do the first half, and then I've got something on. But yeah, I'm going to try and do a tactical analysis on the channel tomorrow. Maybe something a little bit more in depth. I'm curious to rewatch this game, see if we missed anything, if there's any interesting tactics that both teams adopted. That it's not always easy to do these live. There's obviously a lot of things that we're going to miss. My prediction for France-Portugal, I think France are going to make it through. I'm going to go 1-0 France, but I think it's going to be a boring game. Evidence suggests it's not going to be the most exciting game. So Nagelsmann stays. I don't know. I like him. I like how Spain play. I think you need a little bit of consistency. Again, Spain are another team that I don't think many people considered as one of the favorites coming into the Euros, but they played really, really well. So yes, from an outsider who I mean, I don't want Germany to win anything. I'm an England fan. I want to see England win. But as an outsider, I think Germany played well. They need a few more. I would give Nagelsmann more time. He's obviously an unbelievable manager. Thank you, Life. Really glad you enjoyed it. Have a good night. Cheers. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I haven't seen too much of Olmo, but a goal and assist off the bench in a quarterfinals against Germany in Germany. Is that man of the match? Lots of extra time. Red card for Carvajal? What? Oh, damn. Oh, that's huge. Oh, okay. Oh, that's a big one, actually. That's a big one for the semi. Yeah, his face says it all. Good catch. I think that's it. Thank you, Mo. And there you go. Spain are through to the semi-final, the first semi-finals of the Euros. It's been an outstanding Euros. I've really, really enjoyed it. Seen some impressive football from nations you wouldn't expect. But Spain are one of the teams that have deserved to be in the semi-finals. I think they've been one of the greatest teams at the Euros so far. Spain, obviously, one of the other teams that have been really, really impressive in the competition. And I think, in a way, it was penalties maybe could have made sense, but a late goal like that, I don't think you can take anything away from this Spanish team. If it had gone either way, I think it would have been fair. I think it's just one of those games that anyone could have won. But I'm curious to know your thoughts. If you think Spain deserved to go through, barring the handball claim that a lot of us think was a penalty, or at least should have been given a little bit of a closer look on VAR. But what a game. What a game. 120 minutes of Spain-Germany. I don't think anyone can complain about that. yeah, best game of the tournament. Lots of drama, late drama. I'm really curious to get the match reaction, see what German fans are saying, see what Spanish fans are saying. Yeah, lots of interesting changes, lots of tactics that both managers tried to adopt. Lots of changes in the second half. Curious changes from Spain, but it worked. It definitely worked. Both changed players up top, providing the assist and the goal. And yeah, I feel like it was unlucky for Germany in the sense that they played a great game. They had some big chances, but also they had some chances to finish off the match, which they weren't able to do. Füllkrug having a big chance at the end of the game to take it to penalties. But yeah, only 20 minutes away from Portugal, France. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. And we'll be doing a tactical analysis of the match on the channel tomorrow, breaking down some of the more interesting approaches that both managers used, trying to understand the changes that both managers made, if they make sense, on why they made these, trying to understand a little bit more detail why they made these changes and how it worked for Spain in the end. So congratulations to Spain for being the first semi-finalists. And who do you guys think is going to meet them in the semi? My money's on France. France-Spain, that's on paper an unbelievable semi-final. But again, I think Spain will come out on top. So yeah, thank you all so much for joining me today. I had an amazing time talking to you all, understanding the tactics. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, we'll be doing more of these potentially of the semi-final. So whoever ends up in the semi-final on England's side, and whoever is Spain versus France or Portugal on this side. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Again, if you haven't left a like, please leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because it really helps out. And we're going to be doing a lot more tactical analysis going forward, especially of the Euros, these last really important games. But then of the league, which essentially starts in less than a month, really. In a month, where it's already the Premier League. So yeah, I'm excited. Lots of analysis, lots of teams to cover. And yeah, thank you so much. Speak soon.